Suddenly the sky darkened even though it was the middle of a sweltering summer. A girl pointed up at the sky and asked, "What's that?" Tan Fong followed the direction of her finger, unsure of what they were all looking at. Suddenly his eyes widened in shock as he saw countless dark clouds swirling, covering the blue sky in the middle. Suddenly a flash of light burst forth from it. Everyone felt that this was quite strange. Out of nowhere, something poured down from the clouds like a waterfall after that shock. A strange green panel appeared in front of Tan Fong, startling him. From the expressions of those around him, he guessed that everyone could see this system. This isn't a physical entity. Could it be an illusion technique? But on this planet, there's no country or organization with such technology. Curiously, Tan Fong reached out to touch the panel to see what would happen. Immediately, a startup message appeared. The monstrous system is booting up. Those who are healthy and 1550 years old worldwide will be transported to the 6 worlds of the celestial slaughter. A place where monstrous beasts roam, demons invade, and countless races coexist, filled with dangers and death, but also abundant in resources and opportunities. In that place, humans could lose their lives at any moment, but they could also achieve immortality. Beams of light shone down from the sky, targeting everyone within the specified age range. They rushed towards the light columns, wanting to escape. But it was like a barrier. There was no way out. Beneath Tan Fong's feet, everything lit up, and he felt his body beginning to dissolve. Finally, the system's message came through. This is the only opportunity for the planet to save itself. Moments later, they all appeared in midair and fell freely. The system welcomed them to the newbie village number 911, where each village initially had 1000 people. Tan Fong landed in a wooden house. He lay twisted on the floor, but he wasn't hurt. This world wasn't friendly at all, but at least it preserved his life. After witnessing this place, he realized that the 6 worlds of the celestial slaughter truly existed. The system provided information. This is the newbie wooden house blessed by the heavenly Tao. There is no intrusion allowed. What you mean is that no one can break in. Moreover, resting in the newbie wooden house can restore stamina and energy. From now on, players can use the heavenly Tao screen in front of them. The heavenly Tao screen. It looks just like a game interface, Tan Fong muttered. Then he fumbled around and found his personal information page and a few of his combat stats. Yet he only had 1 star. Tan Fong then entered the world chat to see what everyone was saying, but he couldn't access the world channel. It seemed he had to meet certain conditions. Only then could everyone interact here. So he entered the chat room of the newbie village, which was chaotic. Some were hoping for the government to rescue them, while others claimed aliens had captured them for experiments. A virtual youth said they had crossed into a novel but didn't know who the main character was. In another place, 2 men were discussing combat power evaluations. It seemed everyone was the same, but a bald uncle said he was 1 star at the limit and that 1 more point would get him to 2 stars. His stats were significantly higher than average. He scratched his head and said he admired boxing, so he usually liked to train his strength, which is why his stats were a bit higher. After hearing this, Tan Fong understood that combat power was related to 4 stats: strength, agility, physique, and energy. Now, most people had a combat power of 1 star. Uniquely, a typical extreme star averages around 10 points, but Tan Feng's physical agility strength doesn't even reach 10 points, likely because he is usually picky with food and as a result looks like a malnourished person. According to everyone's data, the highest energy level is 13 points, which is less than half of Tan Feng's, and while it's unclear what effect it has, it currently gives him an advantage. The system announces that based on 4 indicators and the player's innate nature, they will awaken their innate abilities, which are classified into levels from low to high, FE, D, and C. D, A, S, 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 and innate abilities rated S or higher all have unique special characteristics. The system cheerfully asks Tan Feng if he accepts the awakening of his special abilities. Of course, at this moment he has to choose yes. It's a redundant question. Tan Feng suddenly finds himself in a strange space surrounded by variously sized green orbs. He dodges a sphere rushing towards him. Based on his experience from reading novels, Tan Feng knows these orbs must be related to the awakening of innate abilities. The stronger the innate ability, the more special the orb. So Tan Feng avoids all the ordinary orbs flying towards him when suddenly one orb comes at him at breakneck speed. It enters Tan Feng's body before he even realizes it. Then a series of other orbs also enter his body at that moment. The system congratulates him on awakening the SSS level innate ability, which allows him to activate this power against all targets, achieving unimaginable effects. Tan Feng only knows that an SSS level innate ability is possessed by only one person, but he doesn't understand the vague explanation from the system. It seems he has to experience it to know its effects. After returning to the beginner village, he has completed the awakening of his innate ability with over 700 people at level F, nearly 200 at level E, and only 2 people at level C or higher awakening their innate abilities. Level C does not even reach 2% of the village's population, which means that an SSS level innate ability like Tan Feng's is even rarer. Among the 2 people who awakened innate abilities at level C or higher, who else could there be besides him? Could it be that the SS level innate ability is similar to his? One person named Liu Xian on the leaderboard claims to have awakened a level C ability to control force, making the whole village buzz with excitement. Just hearing it sounds impressive. Will it turn him into a magnet, Liu brother, in the future? I'll follow you around. A level C ability is already revered by everyone. If Tan Feng reveals that he possesses an SS level ability, he fears that what he receives won't just be cheers anymore. In this world, it's all about killing. A powerful innate ability like that will be Tan Feng's greatest support and trump card. He absolutely cannot let it slip easily. After completing the equipment procedure, the system informs them that they can now leave the wooden house and enter the beginner village. The assessment will begin in 10 seconds. Those who do not meet the requirements will be sent to sell salt on the spot to level up. They can hunt fierce beasts and monsters to gain strength from them. Now it's time to distribute weapons to the beginner players. Tan Feng pulls out a sword from the screen of the Heavenly Path. It has no physical form but can manifest as a tangible item. It truly is a strange reality. What he pulled out is a rusty level 0 sword that every new player in the village starts with an attack power of only 2 points. To increase its attack power, he needs to boost his strength points. Tan Feng then takes the sword and slashes it in an X shape after using this beginner rusty sword. He feels like he could easily take down a cow even though it only has 2 attack points. If it could level up to 10 or 20 points, its power would be unimaginable. But how to level it up, Tan Feng doesn't know yet. He glances at it and thinks about testing his innate ability. A surge of power emanates from Tan Feng's arm. A green light like fire bursts forth, and in an instant, the power of the sword becomes formidable, creating an endless autumn breeze that helps him absorb all the rust and debris from the beginner rusty sword. It helps it level up to a level 1 spirit steel sword with an attack power of 5. Tan Feng has only tested his ability once. He has already upgraded it from level 0 to level 1. The attack power has increased by 3 points. He wants to try again to see what else he can get, but this time he gets nothing because the target's quality is too low. He has reached the limit of refinement, so he can't draw anything else. Tan Feng pouts, thinking he is the best in the world. But it seems like my abilities are still limited. If I keep using them to level up, I'd just be hacking the game. Even so, Tan Feng's starting point is already worlds apart from the others. Just look at how he swung that sword and nearly chopped this house in half. Outside, people are buzzing with excitement. Wow, this place is huge. There's even a square up ahead. It looks like everyone has come out of their wooden houses. Tan Feng decides to step outside and see what the world is like. This is the newbie village 911, nestled deep within a valley surrounded by lush green forests and towering mountains with strange beasts flying around. The Heavenly Path forces them outside to kill monsters, and if they don't reach level 10, they'll just end up selling salt. The newbie assessment lasts only 7 days, so most of the crowd is worried. Everyone is checking each other's abilities, but indeed, most are at levels E and F, and some even have abilities that are completely useless. In front of them is a teleportation door. Like a time machine from Doraemon, they are in the newbie village, which is incredibly peaceful, but they have no idea what awaits them after they step through this gate. Tan Feng guesses this must be the exit from the newbie village, and the world outside is one of bloodshed. Everyone stands before the gigantic gate. Who will be the first to step out of this light? Suddenly, there's a loud explosion behind them, dust flying everywhere. Tan Feng and the others panic. Could it be a beast appearing? A young man with a shaved head stands in the crater he just created. He is Wang Qiang, a 1-star extreme combatant among them, and everyone immediately gathers around him with admiration. Wanga, you're amazing. What kind of talent do you have? Wang Qiang is taken aback by the attention. He has a D-level talent that enhances his strength, tripling his power when activated. If Tan Feng remembers correctly, Wang Qiang's strength is 18. With that talent, it would rise to 54. No wonder he can punch the ground to pieces. D-level talents aren't common, but they aren't too rare either. There are also E-level talents that only double strength points. Wang Qiang already has 1-star extreme combat power, and now with a D-level talent, everyone thinks he's the strongest among them. Wang Qiang stands with his hands on his hips, grinning, of course. Ha ha ha, before coming here I worked out every day and drank whey instead of meals. Now it's time to welcome my glorious moment. They remember Lu Xian, who has a C-level talent. They wonder just how strong he is. But these words make Wang Qiang feel jealous, thinking that having a strong fist is the only truth in this world. To prove he's the top dog, Wang Qiang volunteers to step out of the village and face the first battle to see how strong the beasts outside are. Immediately, he receives enthusiastic cheers from everyone, but after Wang Qiang leaves, they all fall silent. His strength isn't bad, but his brains aren't great either. He could end up being the one to sacrifice himself for them after stepping through the gate. This place is also a dense forest that seems uneventful. Wang Qiang walks while mumbling, waiting to kill a beast so they can see who the real leader is. Suddenly, a shadow darts past Wang Qiang so quickly that he can't make it out. He holds his sword confused, looking at a gigantic figure looming behind him. Wang Qiang breaks into a sweat, glancing back at the ferocious rabbit that immediately takes his life. The system announces that Wang Qiang has been killed by a level 1 bloodthirsty rabbit. Level 1 beasts have a combat power of 3 stars. Level 2 has a combat power of 4 stars. Level 3 has 5 stars, and it keeps increasing from there. Wang Qiang, who can punch the ground to pieces, was defeated by a level 1 beast, leaving everyone in shock and hesitant to charge in and sacrifice themselves. But if they don't move, the Heavenly Path will let the beast come to attack. Tan Feng is extremely worried because Wang Qiang was taken out by a beast in less than 5 minutes. But if they don't leave, the natural order will let the beasts find their way to attack. Tan Feng is extremely worried because Wang Qiang was taken out by the beasts in less than 5 minutes. The weakest survival difficulty in this world. It's harder than you might think. The heavens remind beginners of this constantly. It proves that it can't assign a task to beginners that they can't complete. I'm sure there's a way to pass the test if the monster's combat power is 3 stars, meeting 4 humans with 1-star combat power. What would the outcome be? In their confusion, people began to think about forming teams to fight together. They looked for ways to coordinate, and the first team was established. A young man holding a shield approached and struck up a conversation with Tan Fong, saying, "I see you always go alone. Do you want to join our squad?" "No thanks," he replied, turning away. "Joining a team is a good idea, but it's not suited for someone like you. Before you become strong, you need to hide your innate abilities." The first team had been inside for 15 minutes without anyone dying, so it seemed like it was time for Tan Fong to take action. He took a deep breath and stepped through the gate alone. Inside the forest, the atmosphere felt so primitive that Tan Fong imagined a Tyrannosaurus Rex might jump out from the bushes at any moment. Suddenly, a foul smell wafted through his nose. The air was thick with the stench of blood, making Tan Fong tiptoe toward the source of the smell, where he found a corpse that was still warm. The death of Vuong Quang, partly due to his arrogance, was ultimately caused by this suddenly violent world. Vuong Quang's corpse was like a wake-up call for Tan Fong. In this place, one could lose their life at any moment. To survive, he had to be cautious and continuously grow stronger. With that thought in mind, suddenly a light flashed in Tan Fong's mind. If he wasn't mistaken, this might be the true way to use that ability. Tan Fong approached Vuong Quang's corpse and successfully used infinite extraction to obtain his D-rank strength enhancement ability. Surprisingly, even the dead weren't spared. This ability truly shows no mercy to the young or old. Tan Fong's strength score was 8 points, and with the D-rank enhancement, it would rise to 24 points, which was enough to surpass the majority of normal adults. Tan Fong was visibly delighted. It turned out this was the true way to use his innate ability. With just a little more time, he could gather hundreds, even thousands of innate abilities. After multiplying his innate ability, he would become an overwhelmingly powerful existence that everyone would look up to. The feeling of standing above everyone else was truly exhilarating. Vuong Quang was strong, but his defense and speed were only average, and his arrogant personality led him to recklessly seek out monsters without understanding the situation, which is why he was killed. Therefore, for most people, collaborating to complement each other's weaknesses is the best way to survive in this world. But Tan Fong didn't need to rely on others. With the sword he just picked up from Vuong Quang, he used his ability to turn it into a level 1 weapon with infinite extraction, leaving him with no weaknesses at all. After walking a bit, Tan Fong encountered a giant black rabbit corpse. It seemed to be the level 1 blood rabbit that had attacked Vuong Quang. He carefully observed the numerous wounds on its body. This indicated that it had been surrounded and killed by a group of people, but that wasn't important. Tan Fong tried to use infinite extraction again, and successfully extracted 2 points of strength from the monster. The unexpected result pleased Tan Fong. Now his basic strength score was equal to that of a normal adult, and if he enhanced it further, it would reach 30 points. He hoped to encounter a few more monsters to extract strength attributes, quickly gaining the power to smash the ground like Vuong Quang. Tan Fong tried to extract from the black rabbit once more, but it had dropped below level 20, so he couldn't extract anything else. It seemed Tan Fong would have to search for new corpses. That team must have killed quite a few monsters along the way. He just needed to follow the path they took to scavenge the corpses. All you need to do is follow the path they took and you'll be able to scavenge the pile of corpses. The more people there are, the easier it is to take down fierce beasts. At that moment, he had more colors than the new path, following the one with the most footprints. But the new recruit had already been taken down by a giant clam beast. The first level giant beast was killed. This was the second person to fall. However, he was in a team, and when he retrieved the body of Vuong Quang, Tan Fong, with his innate ability, managed to collect the body of the black rabbit, earning 2 attribute points. Humans and fierce beasts are not the same. Humans have innate abilities, while the fierce beasts are just... With a strong physical quality, he decided to hunt down Li Duye's corpse to gain another innate ability. Tan Fong wandered around unsure of which path Li Duye's team had taken. By normal logic, the less traveled path would be more dangerous. The probability of his team of 5 taking this route was very high. Before finding Li Duye's body, Chu Tan was killed by that fierce beast. This made Tan Fong anxious, as it was very likely that both of them had died in the same place. The danger they were facing was more terrifying than they had imagined. At least the members of a small team couldn't cope with it. Tan Fong was confused, not knowing whether to continue or not. He stood there lost in thought when a cold breeze blew past him, making him determined. In this world where lives are treated as mere playthings, the weak will be eliminated first. So he resolutely jumped down, realizing that to survive he must understand the principle that in misfortune there is fortune. In misfortune, there is luck. Tan Fong crossed a field of weeds. The grass was nearly as tall as his head, and with each step he took, he was extremely cautious. Finally, the smell of blood hit him, growing stronger as he approached his target right ahead. Tan Fong pushed aside the grass and discovered Chu Tan's corpse, dead with eyes wide open. Next to him was Li Duye, also lifeless, which meant that the giant clam beast was nearby. With a first-level fierce beast having a combat power of 3 stars, Tan Fong knew he was no match for it. He could only quietly withdraw and escape. Suddenly, Tan Fong's eyes widened in shock. Before him was the giant clam beast, severely injured. Although he wasn't its opponent, it had broken 2 legs. It must be on the verge of death. Therefore, killing it wouldn't be difficult. Tan Fong counted down, closing the distance to the giant clam beast. When he was just 1 meter away, he enhanced his strength to attack. Suddenly, the front leg of the giant clam beast swung up, causing him to drop his sword, but due to its injuries, its strength was limited. Tan Fong took a leap from above. He threw the sword straight down at the giant clam beast, which couldn't move and lay still, waiting for death. After the stab, it still had the strength to roar, but Tan Fong increased his strength and punched through the giant clam beast. Finally, it lost its life. The risk of scavenging this giant clam beast was indeed too high. These fierce beasts were more alert than Tan Fong had thought. From the corpse of the monster, something flew out and entered Tan Fong's body, causing him concern, but it turned out to be the power he gained. After killing the fierce beast, he received a reward of 30 energy value points and successfully relieved his fatigue. After defeating the fierce beast, Tan Fong's information panel updated his level from 1 out of 100 at level 1 to 30 out of 100 at level 1. This was indeed a very smooth start. Tan Fong gained strength from both human and beast corpses while also earning energy from defeating them. The final step was to extract energy from the giant clam beast. This time he received 2 agility attribute points. With these 11 agility points, Tan Fong became stronger, but the attributes gained from first-level fierce beasts were too low, so he needed to find second-level fierce beasts soon. Next, he came across 2 corpses lying by the roadside, and Tan Fong did not spare them. First, he enhanced his sense of smell to level S, increasing his sniffing ability tenfold. While using this with others, this innate ability was indeed useless. But for him, it was extremely beneficial in this dense forest and grassland. Finding a corpse was not easy. With an innate sense of smell, Tan Fong could easily detect the scent of blood. Moreover, after enhancing his sense of smell, he could also recognize the scent of fierce beasts from a great distance. From there, he could avoid them when it wasn't necessary. Tan Fong stripped the clothes off Chu Tan, tearing them into a piece of cloth that wrapped around the 2 swords he had just picked up, using his powers on them again. The assessment had only started for less than an hour, but his strength and agility had already reached the average standard plus 3 other types of innate abilities, so his overall power must have reached 2 stars. However, the Heavenly Law evaluated combat power based on 4 indicators, so on the surface, Tan Fong's combat power was still only at 1 star. Tan Fong wrapped the 2 upgraded swords in the cloth and set off. He enhanced his sense of smell and could detect scents within a radius of several meters. The smell of fresh blood rushed in, making Tan Fong feel uncomfortable because his sense of smell was heightened tenfold, so the scent was also much stronger. He tried to relax to gradually get used to it. Especially, he had to be careful to distinguish these scents. Suddenly, Tan Fong sensed a faint floral scent mixed with the smell of mud. He could guess it was the scent of a flower, and there was also a strange smell that was becoming more intense. Tan Fong then deduced that something was approaching him. A young man with blonde hair was being chased madly by a giant clam beast after a disgusting sewer rat and a hit sent him flying. That was the moment. The people hiding in the bushes rushed out simultaneously to launch a full attack on the mutated hamster. They successfully gained 30 energy points but had to share them among the members. However, they were quite unlucky to encounter 2 giant clam beasts at once, leaving them no time to react. Li Duye and Chu Tan were out selling salt together, otherwise it would have been their leader, Min, who would have helped them. Retreating while attacking to lure it here, we would probably all be dead by now. One person, seemingly their leader, ordered them to prepare to finish off the giant clam beast that was on its last legs over there. They couldn't let others take the upper hand. Tan Fong realized this was Li Duye and Chu Tan's team. If they found out, he had just taken advantage of the giant clam beast, and if he got caught, he would lose everything, so he quickly enhanced his speed and fled the scene in this ruthless world. Good qualities like kindness and generosity would only get him killed. To survive, he had to risk it all to seize resources. 3 hours had passed, and everyone was diligently killing beasts, while Tan Fong just wandered around collecting corpses. Basically, he had grasped the situation on the plain. This newbie had a total of 5 types of level 1 beast, giant clam beast, bloodthirsty hare, gray wolf, prairie wild boar, and the poisonous 9-tailed snake, and in his hands was the 4th prairie wild boar. And Tan Fong had already extracted it. But how unlucky. With the same type of level 1 beast, he could only successfully extract 3 times, so Tan Fong had run out of opportunities to scavenge, leaving only the 9-tailed snake, which he hadn't extracted yet. It seemed he had to set out to find its corpse. During this time, 7 people had died, but Tan Fong had only found 1 corpse. Compared to the attributes of the beasts, the innate abilities of the people were even harder to find. Tan Fong had enhanced his vision to level E, and his combat power finally reached 2 stars. Now he had the ability to challenge some level 1 beasts. Just as he mentioned the devil, it appeared, Tan Fong sensed the pungent smell of the 9-tailed snake. As he got closer, he detected another scent similar to that of fruits. Tan Fong stumbled upon a massive ancient tree occupied by the giant snake, and beneath the tree was the faint scent he had just caught. It seemed that the 9-tailed snake was guarding this strange tree. In that case, he had to get it. The 9-tailed snake was the strongest level 1 beast in the newbie plane, and was also the only level 1 beast with spiritual attributes. It's rare to find. It looks like this time the heavens are on Tan Fong's side. Sure enough, the venomous beast, the 9-complete serpent, has already spotted Tan Fong, extending its long body of several kilometers and opening its tooth-filled mouth to attack him. He jumped up just in time to dodge its headbutt, causing the massive tree to snap in half like a twig, but its speed was slower than Tan Fong's, perhaps because it had just eaten a prey. So it was still busy digesting. He didn't think much and drew his sword ready to kill it. But as soon as the blade touched the scales of the 9-complete serpent, it was blocked. Its scales were like an impenetrable armor. Tan Fong jumped to the ground, but in the moment of vulnerability, it whipped him with its tail, sending him crashing to the ground. The 9-complete serpent opened its mouth and lunged at Tan Fong, who immediately sprang up, enhancing his strength and thrusting his sword into its wide-open mouth. The serpent writhed in pain, dragging Tan Fong, who was clinging to the sword, into the air with it. He struggled to hold on to the sword, keeping its mouth from closing. Then Tan Fong kicked off to gain momentum. He sliced its body into pieces, ending the battle. Tan Fong let out a sigh of relief. He gained 40 energy points from such an attack, and just one more creature would level him up to level 2. Fortunately, Tan Fong had stumbled upon the 9 complete serpent when it was full and sluggish. He quickly cut open its belly to see what was inside, his expression turning blank as he looked at the 5-fingered hand within. It ate humans. Tan Fong stood there frozen. In this world, everyone could die in different ways. The only thing that mattered was how they died. As for him, of course, he had to survive. Tan Fong extracted the innate abilities from the players inside the serpent's belly. He managed to gain another enhancement for his vision, increasing it to level E, boosting his eyesight 20-fold and allowing him to see at night after evolving his innate ability. Tan Fong also awakened the innate skill True Sight, which helped him see through the essence of things. He discovered a new mechanism if he possessed 2 similar innate abilities. It would cause the innate ability to evolve, and the chances of awakening the innate skill would also be higher. Tan Fong decided to test the first skill he obtained. He used it to examine what the 9 complete serpent was guarding. It was a crimson fruit, indeed, a first-grade spirit fruit that enhanced physicality and poison resistance after consumption with this True Sight. Just like those advanced scanners in sci-fi movies. With this, he would gain more information about many unknown things which would definitely be beneficial in the future resource competition. Tan Fong quickly picked the crimson fruit and stuffed it into his mouth. His whole body immediately underwent a transformation. He gained 8 points in physical attributes, and his poison resistance increased by 100%. Those 8 attribute points were equivalent to extracting 4 magical beasts. This green acidic fruit was indeed powerful. Too bad there was only one. Tan Fong wanted to make full use of the spirit herb that produced it to see if he could do anything with it. This spirit herb was born by absorbing the essence of heaven and earth, growing 1 leaf per year, 7 leaves in 7 years, and only producing the crimson fruit after 7 more years. Once the crimson fruit was picked, it would wither and become useless. But since it absorbed the essence of heaven and earth to grow, Tan Fong couldn't bear to throw it away. He used his ability on it and extracted a spirit flower. After consuming the spirit herb, he gained 2 points in physical attributes. Tan Fong was satisfied. Indeed, being frugal and honest, the thing that produced the crimson fruit couldn't be worthless. So Tan Fong now had a combat power of 2 stars at its peak. If he added the 4 types of abilities he had buried, he could challenge 3 level 1 ferocious beasts at the same time. Thus, he decided to extract another 9 complete serpent and leave the newbie plane. To become stronger, he had to step out of the safe zone and enhance his strength. Just as he was contemplating this, 3 large stones suddenly flew toward him. Tan Fong glanced quickly and agilely dodged the 3 stones. So Tan Fong has reached a combat power of 2-star peak if you add in the 4 types of abilities he has buried. Then he can go. Challenging 3 level 1 beasts at once, he decided to go and extract a highly toxic 9-tailed snake before leaving the newbie plane. To become stronger, he must step out of his comfort zone. Just as he was standing there reflecting, 3 large stones suddenly flew in from somewhere. Tan Fong quickly dodged the stones with agile reflexes. Landing on the tree trunk, Cao sniffed around but couldn't catch the scent of any beast. Instead, he detected the sharp metallic smell of blood from the snake he had just taken down, along with the presence of a venomous 9-headed serpent. The stench was so overpowering that it masked the scent of another serpent that the 9-headed serpent was battling against, where a young man had pinned a dagger to its face. Determined not to let go, he thought, "I must avenge my brother Tran Quan." Tan Fong stood high observing the battle, not expecting to encounter him here. This lightning trash had a D-level innate ability to control lightning and had volunteered to lead the way. In the Tan Thu village, only 17 people awakened with D-level abilities, and they had already fallen during the first wave. As Tan Fong recalled, after forming a team of 8, the lightning trash had just left Tan Thu village, but now only 6 remained, raising his suspicion that the lightning trash had been thrown to the ground by the venomous 9-headed serpent. A girl wielding a bow and arrow rushed over, commanding him to ignore her and take advantage of the moment against the serpent. Temporarily drained of energy, they all charged in, with lightning being the main attacker to hold the 9-headed serpent in place. This caused its momentum to weaken gradually. Victory or defeat was just a matter of time, and Tan Fong was currently using his Eye of Insight to scan for living beasts, spotting the 9-headed serpent. Besides the usual stats like other serpents, it had a drop rate of only 0.1%. While it could drop items, this rate was like finding a beautiful wife. One who is skilled, obedient, and knows how to handle household chores. Suddenly, a blinding light made Tan Fong squint. It turned out to be from below. Lightning's team had successfully taken down the 9-headed serpent, and the energy points were being distributed among the members. A young man only received 1 contribution point and threw his dagger. Annoyed, the girl with the bow comforted Tu Li, saying not to blame anyone. The energy distribution was based on their contribution, and the Heavenly Tao was absolutely fair. It turned out that energy would be distributed according to contribution. If you work, you get paid. However, with 40 energy points shared among 7 people, each would receive less than 10 points. Tan Fong noticed something unusual and jumped down for a closer look. Lightning stood there, dazed, glowing with a green light, but it seemed no one else could see it except for him. "Boss, what's wrong?" Lightning replied that he had leveled up to level 2. Meanwhile, Tu Li was only at 17 out of 100, still a long way from reaching level 2, which made him feel down. Tan Fong, hiding behind the tree, observed this was the first time he saw someone else reach level 2. He wondered if there were any restrictions with level 1. After scanning, Lightning's stats appeared. Aside from his innate ability and skills, the normal stats surprised Tan Fong. Lightning stats combined with his D-level ability. His combat power was considered to be 3 stars. If Lightning fought the level 1 beast alone, his chances of winning were 50%, although Tan Fong hadn't reached level 2 yet. According to the Heavenly Dao's calculations, his combat power was already rated at the maximum of 2 stars. Adding a bunch of innate abilities, his overall combat power could even reach 4 stars. This meant he could easily defeat Lightning. One member of Lightning's team, seeing him level up, rallied everyone to seek revenge for their brother Tran Quan, who was now in the belly of the 9-headed serpent in the distance. A few hours ago, the two of them had been scouting together when they were ambushed by 2 beasts. Realizing they were in trouble, they tried to flee, but Tran Quan, with his short legs, was slower and got swallowed by one. The young man wearing a hat, who had awakened a speed-related ability, ran faster and led the 9-headed serpent here. Lightning immediately led his team to avenge Tran Quan, unaware that Tran Quan had already been killed by Tan Fong, who had absorbed his innate ability, even causing the 9-headed serpent to swallow him. He had also been killed by Tan Fong just as they passed by. Tan Fong accidentally stepped back, making a rustling sound, and the girl with the bow immediately shot an arrow in his direction. The arrow whizzed past Tan Fong's nose, embedding itself in the tree, leaving his face pale. "Who are you? Show yourself!" Tan Fong guessed that this girl had a keen sense of hearing, so he had to step out with an innocent expression saying, "No need to worry, I was just passing by." She jumped and called out Tan Fong's name, asking suspiciously if she knew him. He couldn't remember ever meeting this girl with ears as sharp as a cat's. Loi Jiak turned to ask Liu Nian if she knew him. Liu Nian waved her hand, saying she had seen Tan Fong's avatar in the chat room, but with 1,000 people in there, it was really strange that she remembered him. Liu Nian cautiously asked Tan Fong why he was here alone. It was really dangerous. Tan Fong didn't say anything, feeling anxious about why they hadn't left yet so he could retrieve the poison. The body of the 9th-level poisonous snake. The atmosphere was very awkward when Liu Nian suddenly wanted to ask Loi Jiak to let Tan Fong join their team. They had lost Tran Quan, and adding him could increase their safety. Loi Jiak also had his own thoughts. The strength of humans and beasts was too great, and those at the same level basically couldn't deal with the beasts. So cooperating would raise their chances of winning. In the future, this place would definitely have various powers, and he also wanted to have his own power to stand firm here. So, Loi Jiak asked about Tan Fong's talent and attributes. As long as they weren't too bad, he would accept him. Although he wanted to quickly build a power, he couldn't rush and let just anyone join. Liu Gian happily said that Tan Fong should share his personal information. Their boss was a level 2 powerhouse with D-level talent. If he could join their team, that would be pretty lucky. In response to her invitation, Tan Fong shrugged and said he preferred to go alone. Liu Gian wanted to chase after him, but Loi Jiak stopped her. After all, they didn't need to force him to do anything. Liu Gian felt sad inside. She knew Tan Fong had forgotten about her, but she still hoped he would definitely survive. Sure enough, on the way, they said Tan Fong was indeed strange. By the time he encountered trouble, he would regret it, but when they reached the remains of the 9th-level poisonous snake, everyone was stunned. The snake had been torn apart. It was terrifying. Who in the Tanthu village could have such strength? Some guessed it was Lu Hien who had sea-level talent, but his team was going in the opposite direction. Tiu Li touched the blood of the 9th-level poisonous snake and guessed it had been killed about 15 minutes ago. The snake's body was 7 inches thick, yet one person had taken its life with a single strike. There were only footprints of one person at the scene. Loi Jiak guessed this person was definitely a master. Most likely he was a lone wolf without a team. At this point, Liu Ningyan remembered Tan Fong, who had also been alone around here. So the likelihood was very high. At the same time, the Heavenly Dao announced that someone in Tanthu village had leveled up to level 3, activating the top 100 leaderboard, and Loi Jiak clicked to check. But Tan Fong's rank was 47, and not only that, he was still at level 1, which made Loi Jiak doubt his previous assumptions. The current number 1 was Lu Hien at level 3. Tan Fong wasn't surprised when he saw the leaderboard. More than 5 hours had passed, and 8 people had leveled up to level 2. Lu Hien was at level 3, so it seemed he had to speed up to deal with the beasts. Level 1 in Bin Nguyen had reached the limit for attribute extraction. At this moment, the Heavenly Dao also opened the reward mode for new players leveling up. The first person to reach level 10 would receive a Golden Sun reward, the second would get a Silver White reward, and the third would receive a Copper reward. The first 100 would get a Bronze reward, and moreover, they didn't have to wait until the end to open this reward. The Heavenly Dao knew this as well. The rewards were also divided into levels from Black, Iron, Copper, Silver, White, Gold, Dark Gold, Epic, and Mythic. Of course, the higher the level, the better the items dropped. The Bao Duong is also divided into levels from Black, Iron, Brass, Silver, White Gold, Dark Gold, Purple, Gold, Epic to Mythic. Naturally, the higher the level, the better the items that drop. The hunt for the fierce beasts has begun, and the battle for supremacy is about to start. But if we're going to play, we have to go all in. The golden shield must be in my hands. Tan Fong dashed like a gust of wind and immediately encountered a mutated silver wolf. Kwong unleashed speed and strength, simultaneously aiming for its head, but its skull was tougher than a woman's. Striking it felt like hitting a block of iron. Tan Fong thought that activating his innate skill would be enough to take it down, but it seemed that in its mutated form it was still tougher than usual. The silver wolf stared at Tan Fong with blood-red eyes. It was unexpected for a level 1 human to boldly invade its territory, but this level 1 human was much stronger than many level 3 ones. Tan Fong was also contemplating strategies. They often say wolves have iron backs and soft bellies, and the weak point was indeed its soft belly. Just then, the silver wolf leaped, exposing its underbelly. Tan Fong charged in and pierced straight through its belly, emerging from its back. With one strike, he brought the silver wolf down. It was the strongest beast he had ever faced. The only difference was that he was stronger than it. After defeating the mutated silver wolf, Tan Fong earned a whopping 100 energy points, leveling up to level 2 with all 4 stats increased plus an additional 10 points and 5 free attribute points. Tan Fong's entire body shone. This was the feeling of leveling up, as if a warm stream was flowing through his body, healing all his wounds. His vitality was also restored, and the reward for defeating the silver wolf was not over yet. Tan Fong found a black iron chest and clasped his hands, praying for his ancestors' blessings. He opened the chest, and it soared into the sky, dazzling light pouring down like a waterfall. This amazing item was truly worth the effort. Indeed, a second-tier item had dropped a Blood Wolf battle blade made of titanium, infused with wolf blood enhancing attack power and healing wounds by 100%. Tan Fong held the Blood Wolf battle blade in his hand, feeling incredibly refreshed. With this blade, dealing with mutated beasts would no longer require much thought. Just as he mentioned the name, a whole pack of wolves appeared. They were the companions of the silver wolf he had just slain, but their arrival was perfectly timed. Tan Fong wanted to test his newly acquired Blood Wolf battle blade. He swung it, causing one silver wolf in front of him to lose a leg while another charged in to attack. He turned and pierced the blade straight through its chest. Tan Fong grinned with satisfaction. Now these silver wolves were just small fry to him. After showcasing a few sword moves, all the silver wolves that had come for revenge were down. Having leveled up to level 2, Tan Fong's speed, strength, and physique had visibly increased. In less than a minute, he had taken down 5 silver wolves, something he couldn't have achieved even if he risked his life at level 1. Right now, he still couldn't uncover the secrets of this place. But it reminded him at every stage of the harsh reality this was not a game, but a real world, and Tan Fong would continue to grow stronger. He would soar to immortality and find a way back, while the Thunder Fist was no less powerful. With an electric punch, he took down a fat rabbit. The difference in strength between level 2 and level 1 was indeed significant. At this moment, the Heavenly Dao announced that Tan Fong was the first to kill a level 1 mutated beast and received a point of prestige. This point would accumulate, and only those who first killed a level 1 mutated beast would receive it. People recognized Tan Fong, but on the leaderboard he was ranked 47th, so everyone thought he had just gotten lucky. Perhaps the level 1 mutated beast wasn't that formidable. It was just a stroke of luck for him. As soon as Loi Jiak finished speaking, they all chimed in agreement, but reality slapped the higher-ups in the face as the Heavenly Dao continuously announced those who had been killed by level 1 beasts. Even level 2 had suffered casualties. Everyone panicked, especially Loi Jiak, whose expression stiffened. Just moments ago, he had been smug about taking down a level 1 beast, but now Tan Fong was single-handedly taking down level 1 mutated beasts. Tan Fong was climbing the ranks rapidly. He jumped from rank 47 to rank 11, and then just a second later, he leaped to rank 5. Killing a level 1 mutated beast, Tan Fong was rapidly climbing the ranks on the leaderboard. He jumped from rank 47 to rank 11, and then a second later, he shot up to rank 5. Loi realized he had been too arrogant and signaled his team to continue hunting fierce beasts. He couldn't let someone like Tan Fong, who was alone, get too far ahead. Meanwhile, Tan Fong was comfortably lying on a pile of bloody corpses of the silverback wolves, and at that moment, someone was surely calling for help on the channel. "Brothers, our team leader is dead." Right now, I was the only one who managed to escape. It turned out that the team had 1 level 2 powerhouse and 4 level 1 powerhouses who were wiped out by the mutated silverback wolf, and the one calling for help had a speed talent allowing him to escape in time. He was 50 miles south of Tan Thu village, and Tan Fong could reach that place in less than 50 minutes. This silverback wolf could take down many powerhouses and was mutated. If he could take it down, the energy points would definitely be substantial, and it might even drop some treasures. As Tan Fong walked a bit, he stumbled upon a corpse, indicating that the mutated silverback wolf was nearby. But in the air, besides its stench and the smell of blood, there was also the scent of the blood fang fox. Tan Fong casually extracted 2 agility attributes, but felt something was off. Why? The human corpse didn't drop any talent like it usually did. Tan Fong tried again, but this time he failed. The last time he encountered this situation was with a level 1 fierce beast. He wondered what was different this time. Tan Fong moved to some other corpses and managed to extract a few talents, proving his endless abilities. Extracting from him was no problem, but this system wasn't giving him any hints. Could it be because he already had that talent? And since its level was lower, he couldn't extract it. Tan Fong didn't care anymore. He would use whatever he could get, and besides, he had already obtained the physical enhancement talent. Among his 4 attributes, he had a D-level talent for strength enhancement, an E-level talent for agility, an E-level talent for energy, and an E-level talent for vision, and an F-level talent for smell. Now with the E-level physical enhancement talent, all 4 had corresponding talents, so currently Tan Fong had no weaknesses. Suddenly he noticed drag marks on the ground, and the only corpse he had not encountered was that of Lu Van Duong. He thought for a moment and gritted his teeth. Could it be that this silverback wolf wanted to eat the corpse like that snake? Lu Van Duong had a D-level talent. If he could find his corpse, Tan Fong would gain more. He had to find it before the silverback wolf swallowed Lu Van Duong whole. Tan Fong followed the traces to the entrance of a cave in the cliff which emitted a strong stench. It seemed this was the lair of that wild boar. This cave gave him a creepy feeling. Was it just his imagination, or was it truly dangerous? No matter how powerful the silverback wolf was, it was still just a mutated level 1 beast. Now, it was basically not a match for Tan Fong, but as he entered the cave, he recognized a completely new scent, a level 1 mutated tenfold venomous snake charged out to attack. He couldn't determine its combat power, because if it was in a state of enchantment or control, its combat power might even increase. Tan Fong was caught off guard by the attack but managed to dodge. This tenfold venomous snake had at most 5-star combat power, but compared to the silverback wolves, it was definitely a notch higher. Moreover, it also had the skill to spray venom. Just as he thought of that, the tenfold venomous snake opened its mouth and released a stream of purple venom. Tan Fong, upon contact, felt his eyes sting and water. He covered his eyes and screamed, dropping his 2 daggers. At that moment, a swarm of fierce beasts hiding suddenly charged out to attack. Tan Fong's vision was blurred due to the effects of the venom. Tan Fong pulled out his Blood Wolf battle blade. Even if his eyes were blinded, he couldn't die here. He swung the knife a few times, making the ferocious beasts realize they should back off, while Tan Fong charged at them, using their movements to launch an attack as the other 2 were getting beaten up. The mutated rat scurried away from Tan Fong's rage, managing to take down 2 more, but he couldn't find the rat that had hidden itself. At that moment, the highly toxic snake lunged out to bite him from behind, but luckily he had anticipated the sneak attack and managed to dodge it. Tan Fong, wielding his sword, charged forward wildly. Even though he couldn't see, he could still hear and smell them. "Don't underestimate me, I won't just sit here and wait to die." Tan Fong thrust his sword right at the snake's head. The strike, fueled by rage, instantly sent it to the afterlife. Indeed, the energy point was significantly higher, specifically 110 points, and he also received a black iron ingot. Leaning against the snake's corpse, Tan Fong was panting heavily. This time he was truly in a perilous situation. If it weren't for his recent physical enhancement ability, he wouldn't be the main character anymore. At that moment, Tan Fong successfully leveled up to level 3, with all 4 stats increased by 10 points, and his vision was restored. He was stunned for a moment before bursting into laughter. How could I have forgotten this? Leveling up can restore the body to its optimal state, allowing even blind or crippled individuals to recover. After regaining his sight, Tan Fong felt refreshed. He opened the chest that had fallen from the highly toxic snake, not knowing what items had dropped, but his expression was one of great satisfaction. "I never expected this treasure could yield such good items. This time I hit the jackpot, haha." Deep inside the cave, there was another teleportation door similar to the one in Tan Thu village, and the presence of the 3 ferocious beasts that ambushed him had vanished here. With Tan Fong's current strength, those 3 beasts wouldn't stand a chance against him, but he felt as if their actions were hiding some terrifying existence. Tan Fong stepped through the door, and on the other side was another vast cave filled with many first-grade spirit herbs growing on the rock walls. He hadn't even had time to eat a few of them. Then Tan Fong discovered a scene that shocked him. A group of mutated beasts was surrounding a pile of bones and skulls. The system reminded him that he had entered a strange space. Therefore, he couldn't use the leaderboard, but personal information and channel quality were still functioning normally. Tan Fong activated his true sight on the dry corpse sitting atop the pile of bones. To his surprise, it belonged to a human race but had died at level 4 with a combat power of 6 stars, along with a few nearby ferocious beasts. This indicated that their combined combat power reached 7 stars. The staff with an eye that he was holding made Tan Fong feel extremely uncomfortable. He thought of a way to escape. He would come back to challenge them when he was stronger, but suddenly the corpse opened its eyes and Tan Fong felt as if some force was holding him back. It pointed at him, commanding the ferocious beasts. "The level 3 earthworms of the little celestial world have arrived, so use your flesh and blood to resurrect me." The 3 ferocious beasts that had ambushed Tan Fong lunged at him like unleashed dogs, but it seemed these 2 chains were the skills of that dry corpse. It kept clinging to Tan Fong without letting go. He was unclear about the opponent's abilities and was being surrounded and attacked, so he definitely couldn't let those chains catch him. Just as he thought that Tan Fong found himself tightly bound in the chains of the corpse, no matter how he moved, he couldn't budge. The corpse opened its mouth to complain. Because these brainless, ferocious beasts only knew how to drag the human corpse in, they didn't know how to lure living people during this time. It could only rely on the blood energy from the corpse to maintain its body, and now Tan Fong had come to him like a gift from heaven. He would use Tan Fong's flesh and blood to be reborn. Tan Fong was in a precarious situation. If he couldn't escape his control, he would surely be pounced on by those ferocious beasts in the moments between life and death. Tan Fong roared, causing the chains around him to snap. He instantly took down 2 ferocious beasts and charged toward the dry corpse, which was now in a state of confusion. In high school, the maximum energy level is only 30, yet he managed to break through his mental control. No matter what he thought, Tan Fong charged forward for a direct attack. Suddenly, sharp, strange objects pierced through his body. He collapsed to the ground, fresh blood gushing out, while the skeleton was smug, seeming to say, "You underestimated me. No human can stop my psychic attack. I really enjoy using your body. It's the last honor of your life." Tan Fong scoffed, holding his arm. Honor, what a joke. He was the one who underestimated me. Tan Fong used all his free attribute points to boost his energy level. The skeleton noticed he was trying to resist and wanted to tear apart his soul, then throw it into the endless purgatory flames. Luin Hayaju, kill him quickly. Tan Fong's energy level increased by 10 points. At that moment, he was thrown against the stone wall by Liu Nha Yaju. From the dust, a golden light flashed, and Tan Fong pulled out a sword to block the claws of Liu Nha Yaju. Luckily, when he opened Yang, he received this ring. Even though he carelessly lost the Blood Wolf Warblade, he still had something to play with. Seeing Tan Fong's energy level rise, the skeleton increased its mental control over him. With two fierce beasts rushing in, Tan Fong needed at least 2 seconds to break free from his control. Finally, the skeleton smiled with its crooked mouth, ready to be reborn. But unexpectedly, the two fierce beasts collapsed right at the threshold of heaven, startling him. Tan Fong scoffed after killing the deadly poison 10-headed snake. He had taken its poison pouch. Now it was finally useful. Until now, Tan Fong noticed that the skeleton had been sitting still while the 3 fierce beasts fought him. Now they were out cold. Let's see who else can protect him. The skeleton gritted its teeth, concluding that Tan Fong had used dirty tricks, but it had to look back to see who was cleaner. Suddenly it held a staff, chanting in some language. But Tan Fong didn't let it finish and directly tore it apart. Indeed, eliminating a level 6 creature brought different energy points. Tan Fong received 210 points and also gained 10 judge points, making him a level 1 judge. And judges are those who specialize in exterminating evil creatures. Breaking the rules of the heavenly path, only 1 in 10 million is chosen. Tan Fong then received an additional 20 points in each attribute upon becoming a level 1 judge. He was surprised that the dry corpse was an evil creature. No wonder the True Sight Eye ranked it as extremely brutal, even though he almost sold salt for the 2nd time. But the harvest wasn't small. No wonder the heavenly path said risk always accompanies opportunity. Suddenly, something flew out from the dry corpse, and the system checked to find he had a corresponding talent. He then fused the ceiling skill beast control technique level 3. Tan Fong couldn't stop smiling at having this skill. Didn't that mean he could command a whole pack of fierce beasts, send them to hunt monsters, and sit back to earn experience points? However, this dream was not meant to be, because the activation conditions were not met. Instead, he needed to awaken the D-level enhancement talent to initially control the beast control pill, which could only activate the beast control technique. Otherwise, he needed to awaken the C-level 6 sensory connection to activate this skill. It seemed the conditions were indeed harsh. Not only did he need to awaken the D-level talent, but he also had to find the beast control pill, so Tan Fong began to search the skeleton's belongings to see if he had it. In his tattered bag, there were all sorts of things, from 200-year-old dirty socks, a gold chain stolen from a demon wife, to a piece of bone given by a beautiful confidant. But there was nothing related to elixirs, which frustrated him. After cursing for a while, Tan Fong finally felt better. He would try to extract something from that dry corpse, to see if there was anything else he could get. Let's see if there's anything else to gain. I never expected you to have the D+ enhancement talent, along with 3 points in strength and agility. Tan Fong immediately used the enhancement talent. Merging with the ceiling skill was indeed successful, but he would have to wait until he got the beast pill before he could use it. Tan Fong returned to the group of spiritual herbs. Using the enhancement talent to control the inscription ring, it automatically retrieved items and stored them without him lifting a finger. An idea popped into his head for future battles. He could use it to steal things barehanded. With no weapons, the corpse of Lu Van Duong was still intact, and Tan Fong took the opportunity to extract the fire control ability of D rank. Another corpse provided a D rank speed enhancement, so now his speed was doubled compared to before. After a whole day of stealing, Tan Fong finally had a talent with damage potential. Once he got stronger, he might not even need to fight up close. He could control the flames from a distance like this. As Tan Fong tested it, the flames erupted fiercely, almost burning him. Truly, playing with fire could lead to disaster. The correct way to use it was indeed to roast meat like this. Thanks to the push from the heavenly path, the newbie village 911 was leveling up rapidly, and there were others who had reached level 3, like this young man Lun Guyen. To maintain his ranking, when he saw Tan Fong surpass him in the chat, he was in awe. Even Tan Fong's name was grayed out and gradually sliding down, but the system didn't report that he had died. Like many others, Tan Fong couldn't use the leaderboard, which was why his name was grayed out and stopped updating. After fighting all day, he decided to find a safe place to recover. That said, the meat from these fierce beasts when roasted was both fragrant and fatty, and not only that, eating it cooked and drinking hot water helped recover stamina quickly. He was the first to discover that eating roasted meat could speed up stamina recovery, so he was rewarded with a point of prestige, and the system reported it to everyone. They thought he had fainted somewhere. Turns out he was just enjoying himself, and at that moment the system activated a new feature, the interdimensional trading channel. Many people were asking for fire in the chat since they had no way to ignite it. Meanwhile, Tan Fong had a pile of roasted meat. It seemed this trading channel was meant for him to start his business. Tan Fong then offered 3 pounds of roasted meat in exchange for 1 fierce beast corpse. Since he was the first to use the trading channel, he received another point of prestige. Lu Hien had just killed a level 2 fierce beast, the QNHA Sun, and immediately traded for roasted meat. Both received a point of prestige when the first transaction occurred, while the group Loi Jiak also took down a fierce beast. They traded for roasted meat as well. Tan Fong was roasting meat while extracting 2 attribute points without needing to leave the cave. People were offering up corpses. Then he used that corpse to roast and trade for another one. Lun Guyen, who was nearby, didn't have a fierce beast corpse but was bolder than flesh itself. He claimed that both he and Tan Fong were level 3 experts. However, he was a level higher than Tan Fong and wanted him to gift him 6 pounds of roasted meat. Not only Tan Fong, but everyone in the chat laughed at his shamelessness. Tan Fong said nothing, just reminded him that the roasted meat was limited. First come, first served. Taking advantage of the hungry was truly the father of capitalism, and Tan Fong felt a bit wicked. At the same time, there was a young man selling 50 pounds of roasted meat for a piece of level 1 equipment. Tan Fong thought he was already ruthless, but unexpectedly, someone was both ruthless and delusional. However, it seemed no one wanted to trade with him. Tan Fong looked for some unnecessary items to sell level 1 newbie weapons. They could be exchanged for 3 spirit herbs or 1 spirit fruit or another level 1 equipment. The chat exploded again. Everyone thought Tan Fong was a master. The top-notch weapon smithing was quickly attracting people to trade with Tan Fong, offering a level 1 strength bracelet in exchange for a level 1 spirit blade. Wearing this bracelet would increase strength by 7 points. Among the 4 attributes, his strength was the lowest, so having it would make up for some of that. Suddenly, there was a loud explosion and a blinding golden light. The system announced urgently that Newbie Village 137 activated the forced interconnection order with Newbie Village 911. Suddenly, there was a loud explosion and a blinding golden light. The system announced an emergency. Newbie Village 137 activated the forced connection command with Newbie Village 911. When the resource betting starts, the losing side loses all resources and their villagers lose 20 attribute points. The winning side doubles their resources and gains 20 attribute points. The competition content is that the Newbie Village has a male expert who reached level 5 last time, so the first person to level up to 5 will be rewarded with 50 attribute points. At the same time, a white banknote appears and the chat channels of the 2 villages are connected. During the betting period, both villages cannot access their ranking channels. Tan Feng was horrified thinking about this resource betting battle. The losing side is heavily punished. What has Newbie Village number 137 done? The notifications from the newbies keep popping up, creating a buzz. The chat channels of the 2 major newbie villages have successfully connected. Villagers from both sides can enter the opponent's chat channel but cannot send messages. The resources are halved, meaning the leveling speed will drop significantly, and most people won't be able to pass the newbie assessment. Doing such wicked things is truly shameless. Who among us in Newbie Village 911 levels up the fastest? Do we even need to ask? Of course it's the great elder Lu Xian who's at the top of the rankings. We can't know who ranks first. It's intentional. They want to make us panic. Isn't the top rank of our village Lu Xian? As long as Lu Xian reaches level 5, we will win. Transitioning to the battle, a bare-handed person easily defeats a wild wolf, saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am Baron Edward, a noble of the bloodline. I have reached level 4. I will definitely lead you to victory." Baron Edward turns on the chat. "Oh my god, Baron, you are truly magnificent and impressive. Baron, you intentionally chose to start this battle at night, because the night benefits you." He read the comments from everyone, his expression growing more triumphant. "Ha ha, you are very clever, you guessed right. The night is when our bloodline is strongest. This Baron can single-handedly defeat a level 4 fierce beast. Ha 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 ha." After laughing for a while, he started coughing violently. Tan Feng, terrified, gritted his teeth, sweating coldly as he looked at the chat, realizing that vampire creatures truly exist on Blue Star. He was sitting in a cave, resting and roasting meat, suddenly stood up and thought, Newbie Village 911 is entirely composed of people from Long Kingdom. It seems the Heavenly Path intends to place people from the same country in the same Newbie Village. Why does the Heavenly Path do this? What is its ultimate goal? The betting announcement begins reminding that the map of level 1 fierce beasts is fully opened, rewarding the betting competition. Tan Feng, who had been holding a burning flame in his hand, looked at it and said, "This is just a confrontation between Newbie Village and Newbie Village. Will it develop into confrontations between countries and continents later?" Tan Feng firmly looked at his clenched hand, holding the fire no matter what. The important thing now is the resource betting battle of the 2 major newbie villages. Edward can single-handedly defeat level 4 fierce beasts, and his leveling speed is indeed faster than Lu Xian's. But it is still not as fast as Edward. He must reach level 5 at the quickest speed. He needs to head to the high-level fierce beast area to hunt more fierce beasts. The dark clouds in the night sky gradually dissipate. He ran forward like a cheetah, thinking that luckily he had enhanced vision, allowing him to see objects in the dark as if it were daytime. Tan Feng ran quickly, already knowing the location he needed to find. Enhanced smell allows him to detect the whereabouts of the lurking fierce beasts, avoiding them beforehand. Moreover, after the resource betting starts, the Heavenly Path has offered excessive rewards, making it easier for him to find the area where fierce beasts are active. In the quiet night, illuminated by the moonlight and fireflies, the area where level 4 fierce beasts are active, Tan Feng swiftly glides like a golden lightning bolt, taking down many wild wolves. He held the majestic black sword gliding above when suddenly he encountered an ambushed wolf. At that moment, Tan Feng was shocked by what was happening as the fierce beast attacked. Tan Feng gently used his sword to defeat it. The fierce beast, a level 5 golden-eyed Bill Beastman, had an evaluation of combat power at 8 stars with agile characteristics and claw skills. The sudden storm struck with a 1% drop rate, and I was a bit surprised as I looked at the beast I had just taken down, thinking to myself about the Kim-eyed Bill Beastman approaching. The Kim-eyed Beastman stepped on its corpse, shaking it, and suddenly jumped out, startling me. Its speed was too fast, and my enhanced sense of smell couldn't keep up. Just as I was about to be ambushed, luckily it was only a level 5 beast, and I received 2 points in strength. I curiously picked up a leg of the beast and examined it closely. This was the first time I encountered a half-human, half-beast creature. Could it be that beasts above level 5 no longer have a purely animal form and start evolving into human shapes? In the stillness of the dark night, dark energy wafted towards me as I inspected the beast, glancing towards the dense forest. I suspected I recognized this familiar scent. Could it be that there are spirit herbs and spirit fruits nearby? The beast area is filled with spiritual energy, causing me to pause. Right in front of me was the level 6 beast area, which would naturally have high-level spirit fruits. I wonder if I might encounter humanoid beasts there. If it's a bunch of undead-like beasts, that would be troublesome. Never mind that. I'll look for the spirit fruit first. In the area with the spirit fruit, there are spirit beasts that kill the beasts first, then grab the spirit fruit. It's a win-win situation surrounded by giant trees. I felt tiny, smaller than a tree root as I found the spirit fruit I wanted glowing red and beautiful amidst the gloomy forest. But the trouble for me was that next to the spirit fruit, there was a giant bear beast guarding it. I immediately checked its level. This was going to be a hassle. The notification for the spirit fruit and beast appeared before me. Dragon blood fruit, a second-tier spirit fruit born from absorbing a large amount of dragon blood. Its effect is non-toxic. After eating it, it can greatly enhance strength and agility. The second effect after eating has a 1% chance of obtaining a trace of dragon blood essence. The ferocious, rampaging king beast level 6 combat power rated at 12 stars with brutal and bloodthirsty traits, territorial awareness, and enhanced physical attributes at level E. Enhanced bloodline at level E skill blood frenzy with a drop rate exceeding 60%. My expression turned serious as I gripped my sword ready to fight this king-level beast. A drop rate over 60%, but I knew this would be a tough battle against this king-level beast. I was on the other side sending a message to the rampaging king beast sitting under the tree. Unfortunately, it had noticed me and swatted me away, slowly approaching while I knelt gasping for breath. I let my guard down. I didn't expect it to be so large, and its speed was astonishing. I had no chance to dodge as the rampaging king beast drew closer, warning me with its 3 heads. Don't block my path. I don't want to waste time playing with you. Leave this place. I'll spare your life. I ignored its words, standing up and pointing my sword at it. The 3 heads spoke in a bizarre, slightly disgusting manner, and I taunted it back, saying it was inferior to me. Leave this place. I'll spare your life. Upon hearing this, the 2 heads reacted strongly, angrily shouting, "You little level 4 human, I'll tear you apart." It viciously attacked me, but I managed to block it. I bent down, lowering my center of gravity to gain momentum. The rampaging king beast targeted my position, and immediately I sprang up, causing it to be confused as I leaped down with my blade aimed at it. It quickly reacted, forcing me to dodge its attack, and the second head screamed, "Big brother, the third one is dead." "The third one is dead, that detestable human." The first head reacted angrily. Furious, it exuded dark energy, cursing, "Shut up." After a while of fighting, I assessed that its neck was much tougher than I had imagined. Even with all my strength, I could only chop off 1 head. Suddenly, the fierce king Hung Vuong emitted a golden light from his head, revealing an image of a golden dragon, twisting in a frenzy that could last for 10 minutes. He quickly jumped up. Then he guessed it was the dragon's roar, but its power was weak, likely due to being near the dragon's blood for too long, so it also let out a shout indicating its next intention. "Humanity, you have completely angered me now. I want you dead!" Tan Fong struggled to muster all his strength and struck at it, thinking that in this frenzied state, the fierce king Hung Vuong's defense would be even stronger. Yet it couldn't be harmed in the slightest. It was no less formidable as it swung its hand at him. Tan Fong felt panic. This was bad. He couldn't avoid it. In the eyes of the fierce king, Hung Vuong, his face twisted as he shouted, "Human, you are too arrogant. You think you can challenge a level 6 with your little bit of cleverness?" It brought its huge, drooling mouth close to him, wanting to show him the consequences of angering it. Immediately, Tan Fong seriously swung his hand, unleashing a bright red flame, reminding his Blood Wolf battle blade that it gained fire damage, boosting its power by 10. Before it could react, it was caught off guard and was brutally defeated, lying helplessly on the ground. He breathed a sigh of relief, realizing the Blood Wolf battle blade had been enhanced with fire damage. Finally, he broke through its defense. This battle was indeed tough. He relaxed, sheathed his weapon, and approached it while saying, "Level 6 beasts are much harder to deal with than mutated fierce beasts. I almost died here, but this time I should be able to gain a decent talent." Suddenly, Tan Fong paused, sensing something was off, wondering, "Wait, why hasn't the Heavenly Tao notified me that I've killed the fierce king?" The fierce king, Hung Vuong, had something in mind to attack him. He realized that unless he was quick to dodge the sneak attack, it was clear that the fierce king Hung Vuong was still not dead. After finishing off that monster with a punch, the system appeared announcing that he had successfully killed the level 6 fierce king Hung Vuong and received 500 energy points. You are the first to kill a level 6 beast, receiving 2 prestige points. Your accumulated prestige points have reached 6 for killing the fierce king Hung Vuong. Successfully defeating a level 6 beast grants you a bronze treasure. The bronze treasure has a 98% chance of yielding a tier 2 item and a 2% chance for a tier 3 item. He then turned back to stare at the beasts. I chopped off its head and it still lived. Killing a level 6 beast really opened my eyes, but it also served as a warning that fierce beasts in the 6th world get significantly stronger with each level. Not even for a moment can I let my guard down. The system continued to announce after his achievements, successfully opening the bronze treasure and receiving a tier 2 item. The armor of the fierce king with a defense boost of 25 against fire damage and 100% against cold. After resolving everything, he ran his fingers through his hair happily and said, "A defense boost of 25 plus attributes against cold and fire. This must be an extraordinary tier 2 item. The ring suddenly glowed, and he stroked his chin, looking at the notifications that appeared successfully drawing out a talent of level E, enhancing his bloodline. Awakening the bloodline enhances strength, speed, and defense by 30%. A reminder that having the bloodline enhancement talent makes it easier to merge with the divine demon blood. The easier it is to awaken the bloodline talent, the easier it is to merge with the divine demon blood, no wonder. The fierce King Hung Vuong wanted to guard the dragon's blood, and even when I appeared, it didn't want to fight. If I had such a treasure, it would surely keep a close watch, never letting it out of sight. He thought of the image of a plant, and suddenly felt a sharp pain in his chest, clutching it and groaning in agony. A voice from the dragon echoed in his head, sounding as weak as an ant on the ground. Let me think about whether to swallow you whole or roast you into a delicacy like humans do. It wrapped its tail tightly around him, threatening him with its strength. He cried out in pain. Ah! It continued. Or should I just crush you like this? He fearfully recalled that just a moment ago he had only eaten one dragon's blood fruit. He fearfully recalled that he had only eaten one blood fruit earlier. All of this is just an illusion, and he bit down hard on its tail to confirm his thoughts, wanting to make me a prisoner of this illusion, unable to escape. The dragon in pain cried out, Hey, wait, you crazy fool, I am the true dragon. The true dragon. Do you know how I can teach you the secrets of the true dragon, the long chi sword energy, the dragon chant? Long E, stop eating already, He thought to himself, who cares about you? Is it the true dragon? I will definitely eat you clean after escaping this illusion. He held his stomach and sighed in relief. No wonder it's the spirit fruit of the second stage. The system keeps showing up. Eating the dragon's blood fruit has enhanced your blood, and you gain 5 points in strength, 5 points in agility, and 5 points in physique. You have awakened a trace of dragon blood, physical power, plus 7 agility, plus 6 physique, plus 8. Reminder, your blood has been enhanced by the dragon blood fruit. 0.1% of your blood transforms into true dragon blood. Then he happily looked at his profile: level 4, 190 out of 200 class judge, level 10 out of 100 reputation 6. Strength 115 plus 7 enhanced strength level D. Agility 121 enhanced speed level D. Physique 122 enhanced physique level E. Poison resistance plus 100% mental power 129 enhanced thought level D. Enhanced vision level E, enhanced smell level F, elemental talent, fire control level D, bloodline enhancement level E, innate talent, endless life force level SS. Combat power rating, 11 stars, maximum free attributes 5. He happily said, I heard that people from the country are descendants of the true dragon, plus they have bloodline enhancement talents. Just a bit of luck, a little bit of everything to encounter the chance to receive a trace of true dragon blood, while he happily said he finished eating the dragon blood fruit. Feeling warm all over, he really wanted to take a nap, but he still couldn't sleep. Almost at level 5 now. Killing one more ferocious beast will secure the victory in the resource battle, but a pair of terrifying eyes were watching him from afar. He searched the announcement board to see how the others were doing. Suddenly, a monster behind him opened its mouth wide, preparing to attack him, but he kept staring at the announcement board. Liu Hyundai was about to reach level 4. We are just one step away from victory. Not good, Edward. From the opposing team just killed a level 4 ferocious beast, gaining a lot of experience points. So what's his progress now? Somewhere far away, the main character, Baron Edward, proudly said, This Baron has reached level 4, 520 out of 200. Before dawn, I will reach level 5. Just wait for the glory to descend. The people around cheered, Lord Edward is great. You truly are the strongest man in the world. A girl praised Lord Edward. I just checked the progress of the strongest one from the newbie village Long Quoc. He is still at level 3, and you have already left that Liu Hien behind. The people next to him echoed, I'm so excited this time those weaklings from Long Quoc will definitely have to kneel down and cry, ha 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 ha. The system displayed newbie village number 911 Newbie Lam Fong as the first to reach level 5. Newbie village number 911 wins the resource battle this time. He was surprised and couldn't help but exclaim, What? Everyone fell silent and looked as the scene shifted towards Loi Jiak and Liu Yingyan, seeing the announcement congratulating newbie village number 911. All members received a reward of 20 free attribute points. She happily said to him, Lam Fong has really done it. The others chimed in, Damn, what kind of monster is Lam Fong? Incredible. At the same time, Lam Fong was fighting with all his might while those helping him chatted. Suddenly, a large mountain appeared in front of me, startling me. Damn it, I was killing blood beasts, and suddenly another one appeared. Luckily, I got an extra 20 attribute points, otherwise I would have been done for. Resources, ha ha. All of these are resources. I'm so happy they joyfully revered Lam Fong, the mighty one. Now the system continued to announce Newbie Village number 137. All members of Newbie Village 137 had 20 free attribute points deducted. Newbie Village number 137's resources were halved. At this moment, those who had just praised him, all members of Newbie Village 137 had 20 points of free attributes deducted. All resources in Newbie Village 137 were halved, and those who had just praised him were now silent. Edward changed his attitude, cursing the one cursed by God who could not die whole. It was all because of that damn bloodsucker Edward. He angrily shouted, cursing the foolish ones, You fools, remember your names! I will drain all your blood and send you to meet Satan! They not only didn't listen, but also teamed up to attack him. This filthy bloodsucker threatened us. Let's join forces to eliminate him, kill the bloodsucker. The scene shifted to Tan Pong, and information was continuously updated on his side. Congratulations, Lam Fong. Leading Newbie Village 911 to victory in the betting match, he received 3 prestige points. Congratulations to Lam Fong for receiving a reward of 50 attribute points, receiving the reward of Silver Bao Duong. Despite the danger being close, he remained calm, using his weapon to pierce through the monster without even turning around. He handled it effortlessly and added, "Thank you so much for the experience points that helped me complete my final strike and reach level 4. Once I reach level 5, I'll extract you and make full use of you." Then he smiled successfully, claiming all his loot. He received 2 strength attribute points. The system reported another piece of news regarding Lam Fong. "Great Elder Lam Fong, I just obtained a Resource Extreme Command token. I want to use this token in exchange for a level 1 Spirit Steel Sword." He looked at his loot, smiled, and said that a level 1 weapon in exchange for the Resource Extreme Command token was a deal he couldn't refuse. Moreover, after obtaining the Resource Extreme Command token, the initiative would be in his hands, and he wouldn't have to rush to hunt high-level beasts like this again. Tan Fong chose to agree to the trade, and the system announced. The Resource Extreme Command token only appears once in each newbie village, and only the highest-ranking individual from the 4 villages has the right to activate and use it after the token is activated. The winning village's initiator receives double rewards, while the losing village's initiator faces double penalties. He muttered, "No wonder Ko-Min wanted to sell it to me. Not only is the right to activate the token limited to certain individuals, but the penalties for the initiator are also doubled." A list appeared, and they thanked him. "Thank you, Great Elder Lam Fong. When do you plan to activate the resource betting?" That's right. Let us fight for the newbie village so that the flowers can fall and the waters can flow." "I'm so looking forward to it, Lam Fong. Please give us a hint." He proudly lifted his head to the sky, feeling so cool, thinking for a moment that he could suddenly appear and lead everyone to victory, earning him a lot of respect. He spoke to everyone through the screen, saying that once the sun rose and everyone was back in top shape, he would kick off the resource battle and everyone would be convinced. Joyfully agreeing, they thought it made sense. The big boss really was thoughtful. They supported Lam Fong's decision, getting ready and gathering enough spirit for tomorrow. After turning off the screen, he told himself that it wasn't that he was being thoughtful, but because he wanted to buy some time. Suddenly, he exerted himself, causing the rocks around his feet to shatter. Focusing his strength while thinking with his energy, he could go 3 days and nights without sleep and not feel tired. He attacked a bird, piercing straight through it. His true thoughts were, first he would enter the most dangerous level 10 beast area, then start the resource betting. The level 10 beasts were the most dangerous, but the energy they provided was also the highest. It could level up the fastest, increasing his chances of winning. The system continued to announce the successful kill of a level 6 shadow beast. He received 220 energy points. A strong wind blew past him, and he thought that in the lower-level beast areas, the energy gained was quite low, and the drop rate was also low, so he needed to handle the battlefield a bit. "Let's hurry to the level 10 beast area." Tan Fong looked around, feeling strange. You whispered under your cloak, marking the level 10 beast area on the celestial map. This is the place. You opened the system to survey the surroundings, but suddenly realized that even activating your enhanced sense of smell couldn't detect any beast scent. What was going on? Is the system malfunctioning? Does it have a self-check function, and is there an error? Suddenly, a hole appeared in the ground right where you were standing, and you were startled. Before you could figure out what was happening, you fell in. Oh. You thought to yourself that you hadn't sensed anything unusual earlier. It was as if it had appeared out of nowhere. Annoyingly, there were no walls around, making it impossible to brace yourself. You had to think quickly to stop falling. Otherwise, if you kept falling like this, you'd definitely end up with a broken head or bones. If you didn't die, you'd be crippled. Then your whole body radiated fiery energy. Fortunately, you managed to stop just in time, using your power to hover in the air. It turned out that the space underground was an entire world. You landed and began to sense your surroundings, mumbling to yourself. As soon as you fell, you sensed a powerful beast scent that you had never encountered before, but you remained alert. Could this be the true level 10 beast area? Besides the beast scent, there was also a stench of decay that was repulsive. This foul smell was so strong that you couldn't pinpoint the location of the level 10 beast. You touched a monster and realized it was just an illusion. What on earth is this place? Looking around, you concluded that it resembled the abandoned newbie village 911. You thought boldly, could this place actually be the deserted newbie village? If your guess was correct, it meant the newbie mission had failed. Is it possible that newbie village 911 was also brought to a place like this? You felt sad, seemingly blaming the celestial system. It was both fair and cruel, giving everyone the chance to level up and gain abilities, but once someone was left behind, they would be thrown into a bottomless pit without mercy. Suddenly, a voice echoed, "Human, this is not a place for you." One of the soldiers spoke. It seemed to be the leader among the soldiers. "We are the guardians of this place. Regardless of whether it's a beast or a human that intrudes here, the only outcome is death." The others behind him added, "Human, prepare for battle." At that moment, the system displayed information about them. Demonic soldiers, hell level mutated above level 15. The system cannot investigate. Friendly reminder. Drop rate 10%. You thought these dog-headed guys are above level 15? I have no idea how to escape this strange space. You could only fight and see what happens. Moreover, the 10% drop rate was indeed very tempting. You received a boost of 100 attack power, 100% attack speed, and 30% armor penetration causing wounds. Then you decided to give it a try. Your eyes glimmered with a cold purple light, hoping that the 4th-tier weapon, the white silver sword, would help you kill these monsters. You were determined to start. The dog-headed monsters were furious, charging at you one by one as if they wanted to tear you apart. A huge explosion occurred where you were, and you skillfully dodged their attacks wielding your fire sword. You jumped onto broken stones to evade their strikes and landed. Suddenly, a large sword stabbed straight at you, but fortunately you were quick-witted and dodged that move. You thought did they underestimate me so much that they only sent one person to face me. The system kept notifying you to use your abilities. Activate Divine Blessing to enhance strength. Activate Divine Talent to enhance speed. Activate Divine Talent to enhance physique. Using your Divine Talent to control the flames, you struggled to dodge their attacks. I'll show you the consequences of underestimating me, you shouted angrily, charging at them. The others stood back uncertain, asking, Boss, do you really not need our help? They felt that this human was not simple. Don't worry with someone like him, at least the boss can take down 10 of them, one said, but it seemed the boss was struggling. Another remarked, Can't you see the boss is just toying with that human? He pointed at the fight before them where the human was playing with the monsters. It just feels like this human isn't simple. Don't worry, someone like him could at least take down 10 of them, but it seems like he's really trying hard. Another guy said, Can't you see he's the big boss? He pointed at the battle in front of them, mocking the humans. Watching the guy fighting my cousin remarked that he was intentionally throwing off his attacks to expose his weaknesses, leading him to believe he had the upper hand. Then he crushed him. And at that moment, he realized he had been trampled underfoot, startled to find that in that fleeting moment he had slashed through him. But he had vanished, and I realized I was now beneath him. He arrogantly stepped on me, saying, You have some skill, but this game ends here. I don't have much time left. Those watching are too slow, aren't they? Ha ha, do you need us to help you? He raised his sword to stab me, but in an instant he was pierced through by a blade, blood gushing out as the system announced the successful kill of a mutated Hellhound soldier. You receive 15 points. You are the first to kill a mutated Hellhound soldier and have earned 2 prestige points. Those in the distance were shocked, and I added, Let them hear this. To survive in this world, I can't afford to waste a single second. My eyes are becoming sharper, especially since I gained the ability to control thoughts and manipulate the dead. The system updated infinitely successfully extracting. You have gained a D-level talent, the ability to manipulate darkness and awaken the Hellfire talent. You have leveled up to a level 2 judge after successfully killing the Hellhound soldier. Picking up the shard of the dark seal, my hand touched the fragment of the seal. Tan Fong gasped for breath, having trained tirelessly on how to manipulate weapons, looking at the shard in my hand. Tan Fong moved like lightning, his hands and feet dancing, weaving through the trees in the forest, then leaping up and down, looking like a monkey just learning to swing from branches. He kept repeating those movements over and over. He murmured, From the left, from the right, from above, from below, recalling the grueling training he had endured with wounds both large and small. He concluded, After countless repetitions, I finally grasped a bit with a gleam of deadly intent in my eyes. Tan Fong smirked at those dogs and said, The skill of killing without a trace. The Hellhound soldiers were furious at his boastful words. One of the hound soldiers bared its sharp teeth and shouted, Damn it, kid, kill him quickly. Another calmer spoke up to advise against it. It's not time yet. Then they began to push each other. I just got my nails done yesterday. I don't want to fight much. You go. The hound soldier, who had just been given a noble task, shirked. Why should I go? You're number 2. You should go. The other two acted as if they were being polite, missing a great opportunity to hone their skills. You should go. You're smaller. Watching them push and argue, Tan Fong felt a headache coming on. Suddenly he realized something was off. His comrades had been killed. Yet they acted as if nothing had happened. Could it be that I haven't killed it yet? Tan Fong glanced behind him, doubting his thoughts. But the heavenly path announced I killed it successfully. At that moment, a deep voice echoed, Human, are you looking for me? Right after that, the leader of the Hellhound soldiers appeared like a ghost behind Tan Fong, causing his heart to skip a beat. It opened its mouth wide, filled with sharp teeth. And right in there was an energy ball that was growing larger. Once the ball reached a certain size, the leader of the Hound soldiers shot out a powerful explosive blast. Tan Fong nimbly dodged to the side just as he landed on a nearby open patch of ground. A loud explosion rang out precisely where he had stood before. Tan Fong quickly regained his composure, gripping his sword tightly, his body automatically entering a battle-ready stance. The Hellhound soldiers gradually approached their leader, mocking him that his vigilance was getting worse by the day. The leader tilted his head to stretch his neck and replied that it had been a long time since he had seen a human feeling a bit complacent as he faced Tan Fong, who was bewildered and exclaimed, No way! Clearly, the Hellhound leader pointed directly at Tan Fong and exposed his secret. You've received the notice that you successfully killed me according to the Heavenly Tao. But I don't understand why I'm still alive, right? It sounded like he knew everything. Surely the true side eye could tell you our names listening to those words. The Hellhound soldier's certainty made Tan Fong pale with shock. He thought to himself that he knew about the true side eye, ignoring Tan Fong's ugly expression. The leader took the spear handed to him by his underlings and said that the meaning of Hell soldiers is that we come from Hell, which also means... Suddenly, the whole group of Hellhound soldiers was enveloped in a strange blue light. With a gleam of arrogance in his eyes, the Hellhound leader declared that we are immortal, disregarding the loud threats from Tan Fong, who spat in disdain. You're just a bunch of dogs. What's there to be proud of? Then wanting to show off, the sword suddenly blazed with fire as Tan Fong rushed forward, proudly declaring, If I can kill you once, I can kill you 2, 3, or even 4 times right after that. The Hellhound leader and Tan Fong charged into battle. In a flash, the leader used his spear to block Tan Fong's powerful strike. Tan Fong dodged a deadly attack from the Hellhound soldier. They fought relentlessly, the sound of clashing weapons ringing out continuously as they kept going one-on-one. Until the crowing of a rooster signaled the dawn, a rooster crowed. And one Hellhound soldier saw the first rays of sunlight appear on the distant horizon. At this moment, the teleportation gate also appeared, and the Hellhound soldiers gathered in front of it. One of them waved his hand loudly, urging the leader that it was time to go. "We have to leave now." The leader continued to swing his spear at Tan Fong, who was violently thrown against a tree, looking quite painful as the Hellhound leader walked toward the gate. Turning back, he praised the human, saying, "You're quite interesting. I hope we can meet again next time." As the Hellhound soldiers left, Tan Fong wiped the dirt off his face. He felt annoyed, muttering to himself about how despicable these dog-headed creatures were. "Crowing early, just like our ancestor said, it's true. Crowing early means you'll eat something." Then a notification appeared warning that the village had disappeared, connected to countless other villages in Tan Thu. It appeared in the darkness and vanished before dawn. Seeing the information it provided, Tan Fong suddenly understood, so that's how it is. This also means that as long as there's a dark seal, everyone has a chance to enter there. He looked at the half-broken dark seal in his palm and bitterly said, "You dog-headed creature, just wait. When I have enough strength, I will definitely come back for you." Suddenly, Tan Fong sensed something. He frowned tightly, showing great discomfort as a monster resembling a centipede, but enormous with 4 sharp fangs, suddenly emerged from the ground. It brazenly appeared behind Tan Fong. He turned around and used his sight to read the information about the monster, helplessly saying as the information appeared immediately. The monstrous earth sawworm, level 12 combat power, rating 15 stars. Characteristics include extreme toxicity, poor eyesight, and incredible hearing. Innate abilities include enhanced hearing level E, earth element sensing level F, and infection skill with a drop rate of 1.2%. Tan Fong swiftly and decisively slashed through the body of the earth sawworm, successfully splitting it in half. In the distance, several other earth SA worms also appeared. Waiting to be marinated at the same time, a notification also appeared, announcing that 2 people from the Tan Thu village had reached level 5, and the regional chat channel was automatically activated. Hearing the notification, although he was dodging the stone hands that had just emerged, he still had to exclaim after loading the reason Lu Hien's leveling speed was even faster than he had predicted. Hearing the announcement, even while dodging the rising stone hands, he couldn't help but exclaim that after loading the speed of Lu Hien's level up was even faster than he expected. Right after that, 3 consecutive announcements popped up, reminding that every 1,000 new villages would be divided into a zone. The announcement started linking zone number 1. The chat channel for the linked zone was successful. The new village number 911 was the 47th village to join the chat channel, and it began buzzing with countless messages from people from different new villages. Most of the messages were discussing the newcomers from this new village number 911. "Ah, there's another group coming." A girl with a side-swept hairstyle said, "New village number 911 is the 47th to join. Not bad, but it seems like others don't think so." A guy who looked like Haban scoffed, saying, "It's been so long and only 2 people have reached level 5, is that all those bottom-tier guys are from Long Quoc?" A chubby boy chimed in, reminding his brothers. "New village number 911, don't talk to those guys. They're all from the same gang." Another person who seemed to have been a victim of those nasty guys also messaged to warn, "That's right, betting will make us lose half our resources. You all need to be careful." A bespectacled guy looking knowledgeable spoke like a street thug. "This time who will teach those Long Quoc guys a lesson?" A guy wearing a turban replied to the question, "As Amia Khan said, the sacred mission to defeat the Long Quoc guys is entrusted to our village 446. Another big guy expressed his agreement, supporting the idea of taking down the Long Quoc guys so they couldn't stand in this world of slaughter. The long-haired guys seemed to be laughing while messaging the group, "Ha ha ha, let's show these arrogant guys." A guy with a flat face who didn't seem to be from any village confidently declared, "Amia Khan just needs 2,000 more points to level up to level 8. The Long Quoc guys are definitely going to lose." After a series of messages expressing hostility, they finally saw a message from the opposing side, "You guys are really shameless," according to the guy in the turban. 2 announcements followed. A guy with a flat face who doesn't even know where he's from confidently declares that Amia Khan is just 2,000 points away from reaching level 8. The people of Long Quoc must be feeling defeated after a series of messages showing their hostility, only to finally see a message from the opposing side. "You guys are truly shameless," as stated by the guy in the turban in his 2 announcements. The Tan Thu Village 446 has activated the resource betting enforcement order, while Tan Thu Village 991 has initiated the resource betting with the first level 8 powerhouse. They will win this betting match. At this moment, somewhere else, Tan Fong just swung his sword, splitting the last stone statue, and the system notifications kept popping up, receiving 800 energy points after reaching a certain threshold. An important notification appeared announcing that Tan Fong from Tan Thu Village 911 has reached level 8, first winning this resource betting match. Tan Fong scratched his ear, appearing indifferent, but inside he felt smug, looking down on a bunch of people who thought they were better than him. He was only 1 step away from level 8, yet they dared to challenge him. At the same time, a notification rang out in Tan Thu Village 911, enveloping all the villagers here. They were surrounded by a powerful green aura. A crew-cut guy looked down at his body and asked what had just happened, while a beak-nosed guy was just as confused about what was going on. He replied, "I don't know." And another young man with dark circles stared at his hands and said, "Tan Fong has won." A long-haired girl questioned, "But didn't the resource betting just start?" Someone chimed in, "That's right, Tan Fong has won," followed by a flurry of compliments that sent shivers down their spines. "So strong, this is amazing, just keep it up. It's going to be hard for us to level up slowly. Finally, there's hope for the Tan-Thu assessment. Long live Tan-Fong, long live Tan-Fong, I'm willing to offer my first kiss. Meanwhile, in Tan-Thu Village 446, the defeat notification also rang out. Notification: Tan-Thu Village 446 has failed the resource betting. The announcement from Tan-Thu Village 446 hit like a bolt from the blue, leaving the residents here devastated, voicing their complaints. What's going on? We just started the battle, so why is it ending already? No way. How could we lose to those Long Nation people? Lord Amir Khan has lost half of his resources. Many of us won't be able to pass the Tan-Thu assessment. Amir Khan is clearly furious. He gritted his teeth, unable to utter a word, blaming those damned Long Nation people. We can't let them continue to act so arrogantly. We must take revenge, saying that Amir Khan pulled up the announcement board as if he had another plan. Amir Khan analyzed that of course we should reach out to our allies in the area for assistance. They hate the Long Nation people just as much as we do and will definitely help us. Accordingly, an announcement from Amir Khan appeared on the regional channel stating, "The allies from Village 911 used dirty tricks to win this bet and their resources have doubled. Their attributes have also increased. They are getting stronger and the threat to us will grow. If we let them continue to expand, we definitely won't be able to live well. We ask for your help to defeat Village Tan-Thu 911, where a priestess is floating in midair surrounded by magical blue light. Below the priestess, 4 men are sitting examining that extraordinary announcement. One of them spoke up asking, "The speed at which those Long Nation people level up is incredible. Isn't it also an S-level talent?" One guy, injured in the chest, clasped his hands together, looking at the saintess with a humble expression. Then he flattered, "An S-level talent is a blessing bestowed upon us by the Father. How could an ordinary Long Nation person be favored by the divine? The Great Father only cares for his servants." The saintess said nothing, just smiled and listened. Meanwhile, in another Tan-Thu village, a blessed man was carrying a child on his shoulder, walking through the snow and cold wind. The child saw the announcement Amir Khan posted and laughed joyfully, saying, "Ha ha ha, that old man Amir Khan loves to put on a show got defeated by the Long Nation." The blessed man smiled and replied, "Those Long Nation people, huh? No wonder," he added, pulling a massive crocodile-like monster behind him, leaving a bloody trail on the pure white snow with one hand while holding a nail in the other. "Just now I heard you talking. I used to know some Long Nation people. They really are unbeatable. I hope to meet them in the grand world." In another Tan-Thu village, which seemed cozier, a long-haired man was staring at the screen, reading the announcement, then asked the one busy fighting the monster, "Hey, did someone submit a challenge to Village Tan-Thu 911? The guy named James turned his head to reply, "Miyamoto from Village 5 is an A-level space ninja talent and the first in Area 1 to reach level 8. He continued stating his intention. He must be very afraid of the Long Nation surpassing him. Let him scout the strength of the Long Nation people first." The other guy agreed. Just after a short time, the news of Village Tan-Thu 911's victory and Amir Khan's kill request stirred everything up again, making it annoyingly lively. These people are truly envious, not wanting our Long Nation to live well. These bastards' Long Nation will not be extinguished. Why hasn't the great elder Tan-Fong shown up yet? Using the traditional magical power of our Long Nation, we will crush them. Others shouldn't meddle in this matter. They just want to eavesdrop, climbing up to call their buddies, selling sunflower seeds, drinks, and folding chairs to watch the great elder Tan-Fong teach them how to be human. However, the main character in this story, just wanting to eavesdrop, they climbed up, calling their buddies to sell sunflower seeds, drinks, and folding chairs to watch Tan-Fong teach them how to be human. However, the main character in this story. Right now, he was struggling to carry the head of a giant earthworm, tiredly saying Tan-Fong is about to die from the heat. It turned out the sun here was too harsh, so Tan-Fong had to use the giant earthworm's body to shield himself from the sun. He grumbled, hoping to unlock a water-type talent, or an ice-type talent. Otherwise, he couldn't stay here. Suddenly, a box appeared before him, and from it flew out a shining command card along with an information panel explaining this item. Sea-level mission order activated. This command card allows you to receive a sea-level mission with no time limit for completion. Completing it can yield very rich rewards along with a shadowy golden treasure. Tan-Fong carefully considered based on the provided information. Only the top tier of Tan-Thu assessments had the golden treasure. But completing this sea-level mission could get him an even higher level shadowy golden treasure. It seemed this mission would be quite challenging. After that, he looked at the command card in his hand and decided that since there was no time limit, he might as well activate it now. If he couldn't complete it, he could just leave it for later. Saying that Tan-Fong activated it, and 3 big notifications popped up. Tan-Thu Tan-Fong is the first to use the mission card and received 1 prestige point. Congratulations to Tan-Thu Village 911 for meeting the corresponding conditions to activate the mission channel. The sea-level mission is to break the 5 seals of the wind. The mission content is to collect 5 types of royal heart cores, metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, and then go to the top of the long mountain to break the seals of Tan-Thu Village 911. Finally, the system didn't forget to give a reminder about the mission. Reminder. After breaking the seals, the residents of 911 will be able to enter a larger world. All Tan-Thu villages in Area 1 that complete the mission can enter the Great World. Tan-Fong examined the task bit by bit, slowly analyzing the assignment, which was to open the map. This meant that the village of Tan-Thu would be the first to enter the Great World. This would give them a huge advantage, allowing them to gather more resources. He checked the reminders for the task and 2 notification boards appeared. According to Tan Feng's hand gestures, the task reminded him to go to the central plains of Lilac-san to kill the fierce Beast King and obtain the Earth King's core. The coordinates for the Lilac Prairie were 398,872. The task reminded him that the fierce Beast King was the weakest and easiest to hunt, suggesting the formation of a small team of 20 level 10 experts or higher. The success rate for hunting would reach 70%. Tan Feng focused on the reminders while pondering the leveling speed of everyone in the village. Right now, the team of 20 level 10 experts would need at least 5 more days to gather. By then, everything might be over. He looked around the desolate and deadly prairie and said, "The Boneberry Desert is very close to the Lilac Prairie. Should we go there to scout the situation first?" Liu Nian tried to calm herself, telling herself not to move to hold her breath to stay calm. She was currently trembling, hiding behind a large rock. She bit her lip tightly to avoid making any noise. Behind her was a giant elephant-like monster wielding a large axe, searching around. The beast bellowed, "Where are you? Human flesh." The creaking sound of the axe echoed as the elephant monster mumbled about delicious human flesh, a scent wafting into its nostrils that made it pause. It charged toward the rock where Liu Nian was hiding, roaring, "I've found you." Liu Nian's heart sank as the monster raised its axe, its mouth wide open toward her. In fear, she screamed hopelessly. No, Tan Feng had seen this scene. This monster was a fierce beast. A level 12 fierce beast king rated with a combat power of 15 stars. Its brutal and bloodthirsty traits, along with its innate physical enhancement skill at level E, had an unclear drop rate of 1.2%. A flash of lightning pierced through the fierce beast king. Just as it swung the axe down at Liu Nian, Tan Feng managed to teleport her away in time. Liu Nian opened her eyes wide in surprise, looking at him, and breathlessly exclaimed, "Tan Feng!" Tan Feng, both worried and angry, asked, "Why did you come to the level 10 beast area alone?" Liu Nian still hadn't regained her composure as she stared at the fierce beast king's corpse that had fallen heavily to the ground. But she stammered, asking why he was here. Tan Feng guessed she wasn't here alone, so he inquired about her teammates. Liu Nian's face paled as she could only tremble and utter 2 words, "Teammates." The horrific image of her teammates being devoured by the monstrous beast flashed in her mind. This statue crushed every piece of her, leaving her in shock. Liu Nian hugged her trembling body, tears of pity and self-reproach streaming from the corners of her eyes. She sobbed, recounting how they were captured and then killed, eaten so terrifying blood everywhere. Tan Feng sighed at her lonely figure, realizing that the strong devour the weak is the basic rule of this world. It was time, yet she still couldn't get used to it. Liu Nian grasped Tan Feng's hand, pleading, "Please, Tan Feng, can you save them? They've all been taken by those elephants," she said. "Those monsters said they would eat them tonight." Tan Feng realized they were a herd of mammoth beasts, which meant he had a chance. Tan Feng confirmed with Liu Nian, "I will save them. You leave this place first." "This isn't a place for you," Liu Nian said anxiously, "but there are too many monsters. I can help you." Tan Feng coldly replied, "Your rank is too low." "You can't help me," Liu Nian insisted. "I know where they are. I can lead you." Tan Feng was a bit annoyed and refused. "No need. I can find them myself." Liu Nian, reasoning, stammered, I could take the risk and suggest that since they like eating humans, I could be bait." Tan Feng looked at her suspiciously and asked, "Aren't you scared?" Liu Nian replied, "But I am their teammate. Saving them is my responsibility. I can't just rely on you because you're strong." Liu Nian placed her hand on her chest. Her big eyes filled with determination as she said to Tan Feng, "Let me contribute a little strength." After thinking for a moment, he decided to agree to let her follow him secretly, pleased that she wasn't completely useless. In the level 10 beast area on a vast and breezy prairie, the sound of drums and gongs rises up as 2 spirit snakes joyfully dance together. Loi Jiak and the remaining teammates are tied to a big tree, feeling extremely unstable due to fear as a herd of mammoth elephants surrounds them while the 2 spirit snakes happily sing together. They are joyfully gathering around the fire for the festival, with Loi Jiak eyeing the flames hungrily as 2 elephants have been sent out to hunt during the feast. One angrily exclaimed, "Damn it, with 6 humans, how could there be enough food? By the time it's our turn, I bet there won't even be leftover rice or soup." The remaining one tried to console him. "If it weren't for these humans stumbling into the teleportation array, we wouldn't even get to eat that meat." The annoyed one complained, blaming the little guy for saying to go catch the escaping humans. "Why is he taking so long to come back? He's not eating the scraps by himself, is he?" The other calmly replied, "If he eats a human without the king's permission, he'll face punishment. He wouldn't dare." The 2 elephants continued into the forest. One spotted a corner of a human's clothing peeking out from behind a rock and said to the other, "I remember the king said if we catch a human to offer up, we could get an extra leg when sharing food, right?" The other happily replied, "That's right." So he picked up a spear, puffing with excitement, and joyfully declared, "Today is truly my lucky day, lucky to go down early." He glanced at the 2 elephant corpses lying in the pit and told Tan Feng, "I was just baiting the heavenly path, just give me 60 more energy points." He replied, I'm thinking about the legs of the desert worms after. Even though it's sharp enough to cut through the fierce beasts to make the wound deeper, I need to add more control over my thoughts." Tan Feng turned to Liu Nian and said. She closed her eyes and blankly replied, "Okay." Tan Feng absorbed the essence from the 2 elephants. He secretly planned that adding more control over his thoughts would consume his spirit energy, and the effect wouldn't be as good as using the wind silver to strike them down. He needed to change his hunting method as the system kept notifying him. Successfully absorbed infinite essence. Received the E-level talent infinite physical enhancement successfully. Received the E-level talent infinite physical enhancement twice. The talent is automatically duplicating and evolving successfully. The talent evolved into D-level beast talent physical enhancement. After collecting all the spoils, Tan Fong told Lun Yen she could open her eyes now. He handed her a pill and explained. This is the first-grade defensive ring dropped by that elephant. When attacked, it can form a protective barrier around the body. Lun Yen looked at what was in her hand, feeling grateful. Tan Fong coldly said, don't get the wrong idea. You still need to continue being bait. If you're dead, it'll be a hassle. Lun Yen cheerfully replied, thank you. She ran after Tan Fong happily, thinking to herself that he hadn't changed at all. Still cold-faced, but warm-hearted just like before, Tan Fong concluded after many battles with the fierce beasts that the poison in the poison bag of the 10-horned snake still worked on the fierce beasts. The hellfire can easily break through the defense of the raging fierce beast and kill it. Liu Ningyan stood outside watching Tan Fong finish off a level 10 beast in just a few moves, unable to help but be amazed. Tan Fong personally finished off the fierce beast and pondered that the weakness of the raging fierce beast was in its neck. As long as I limit its movement, even a level 4 could take its life there. The shout cut through Tan Fong's thoughts as the two glanced at a herd of 5 elephants charging towards them, filled with murderous intent, roaring, "Those filthy humans dare to ambush our kin. We'll trample you to death and eat you alive." Tan Fong just stood there with his arms crossed, watching those crazed ones. Inside, he was very pleased. A new test subject had appeared. The lead elephant ordered, "Kill that human." The other elephants, as if fueled by a mad spirit, charged forward, and as they were rushing the ground, sprouted slimy vines. One nervously asked, "What is this?" The leader, Keen Thuong, responded to the trap of the human species as those weak, soft vines suddenly hardened and shot out at high speed, catching the fierce beast statues off guard, ensnaring them with the vines. Only one could handle the attack that knocked Dewey down. Tan Fong watched the unfolding scene below with satisfaction, knowing that the furious beast general would come here upon discovering his kin's disappearance. That's why he set traps around the willow grove. However, despite Tan Fong's perspective on the bloody scene below, he still felt a bit of fear as he looked at the disdainful beast statues. Now that they have arrived, let all become tools for my ascension. The system announced that killing 5 fierce beast statues of level 12 earned him 610 energy points, leaving only 1 fierce beast statue alive. Excitement surged within Tan Fong as he easily broke the spines of the desert creatures, which were harder than level 2 weapons. This was interesting. The fierce beast statue charged at Tan Fong with murderous intent, roaring human. His entire body was enveloped in golden battle aura, crackling with lightning. He was a mutated fierce beast general of a high rank. Level 12 evaluated combat power at 21 stars, with attributes including fierce aggression and a unique defensive talent that enhanced physical strength to level E and earth sensitivity at level E. The drop rate was a mere 1.2%. The fierce beast statue leaped high, aiming to cleave Tan Fong in half, but he remained calm, standing still and channeling his energy into his blade. As the beast statue fell, Tan Fong raised his sword to intercept, wanting to slice it in half. However, the strength of both sides was nearly equal. Tan Fong jumped out of the way as the beast's blow struck the ground, shaking the surroundings like an earthquake while he tightened his grip against the opponent's power. With double the strength, the fierce beast statue's strike made Tan Fong's hand numb. He swung his blade in a circular arc, cutting into the back of the monster. Tan Fong silently assessed the skin, which was quite tough, but not unbreakable. The furious beast statue turned back to glare at Tan Fong, cursing him with contempt. "You pathetic human." The battle aura around him grew stronger. He confidently grasped his arm, saying, "My body has been blessed by the king. All wounds will heal. You can't kill me." The wound on his back was healing, which made Tan Fong smile with delight, thinking about how he could absorb such a power. Now he was even more determined. Tan Fong pulled out his blade and asked, "Very impressive and practical, but I have one question. Does such power have limitations?" He took the initiative to attack. The battle between Tan Fong and the fierce beast statue was fierce and evenly matched, with weapons clashing, sending sparks flying all around. After a while, he concluded that the healing ability of this creature was diminishing, and both its strength and attack speed were decreasing. He pieced together memories from the battle to analyze. He had struck 75 times, landing 60 hits with 5 critical wounds, 15 significant wounds, and 30 normal wounds. There were 10 minor wounds healing at a very fast rate, almost instantaneously. Normal wounds took 1 to 2 seconds to heal. Significant wounds took 3 seconds, while critical wounds had gone from 5 seconds initially to now 15 seconds. The fierce beast statue fell to the ground covered in wounds. Tan Fong asked, "With your human head, has your healing ability reached its limit?" Tan Fong, looking down with disdain, snapped his fingers, saying, "It seems your king no longer blesses you." The system reminded him that the hellfire damage bonus was 100. Tan Fong unleashed hellfire onto the fierce beast statue, flames erupting around it. Tan Fong held his sword with both hands, energy swirling around the blade. His eyes glinted coldly as he declared, "It's over." Tan Fong severed the head of the fierce beast general, and as he passed by, the system congratulated him for killing the level 12 fierce beast general. Successfully mutated, he received 1,700 energy points, being the first to kill a level 12 fierce beast general and successfully mutate. He gained 3 points of reputation. In the lair of the fierce beast statues, the king eyes closed suddenly awoke, feeling a sense of loss wash over him. The guard hurried over worriedly, asking the king. "What happened?" The king of the fierce beast statues spoke slowly and softly. The loyal guard replied, "2 of our comrades have been killed." In the willow grove, Hoang Mang called out, "Tan Fong." Tan Fong swung his fist, unleashing the power of the dragon elephant, enhancing his defense by 20, physical strength by 5, and earth resistance by 10%. With a single punch, the ground ahead shattered into dust. Tan Fong stood within the barrier, puzzled, wondering when his emotions had begun to deteriorate. What had happened? Tan Fong gritted his teeth in frustration. He recalled that after defeating the fierce beast statue, he had been eager to absorb its power, but no matter how many times he tried, he couldn't extract it. It was truly strange. Why can't I draw out the healing abilities? Tan Fong remembered when that guy talked about the power of Vuong Trao, and the more he tried to analyze it, the more confused he became. He held his head, feeling frustrated. Liu Nguyen saw him silent, pacing back and forth, and her curiosity grew. After thinking for a moment, Tan Fong looked up and smiled. He slapped his hand on the table, excited. "That's it. If I can't draw from my little brother, then let's find his king." Liu Nguyen looked at Tan Fong's changing expression, stunned for a moment. Then she hid behind a rock, peeking out. Looking ahead, there were 2 fierce Ma Tuong discussing something. They looked very tense. Liu Nguyen warned Tan Fong that there were at least 30 head elephant men here. Even though he was very strong, he would still get hurt, she suggested. "Let's quietly rescue Loi Lao Dai and then go back to Thon Tan Thu through the teleportation gate. Those elephant men can't enter the teleportation gate." Tan Fong maintained his cold expression, a strange purple substance dripping onto the sword. The ring glowed and the blue energy wrapped around the sword. Tan Fong told Liu Nguyen, "I'm afraid I have to disappoint you." Tan Fong led Liu Nguyen over to see the elephant men dancing around the fire. He said, "Look over there," guiding her to the right and then glancing back. 2 elephants were guarding Loi Jiak and his tied-up teammates. Tan Fong analyzed the situation for Liu Nguyen. At first glance, it seemed very advantageous for them. They just needed to ambush the 2 elephants in the forest to secretly rescue her teammates. How convenient. But had she ever thought this might be a trap? Liu Nguyen gasped, exclaiming, "What?" She looked at the fierce Ma Tuong happily dancing around the fire. Tan Fong spoke up, analyzing. "The reason there would be a team of fierce Ma Tuong chasing us is that the elephants sensed their 8 missing companions. This team probably has no news and will surely alert the Tuong Vuong after a while of observation. The fake party they set up is to lure our group into a trap." He continued to analyze. "They deliberately left the area where Loi Rak was defending the weakest. Just like being immersed in music," Tan Fong concluded lightly. "It's just a trap inviting us in." Liu Nguyen found this hard to believe, so she hesitated and countered, "But they're just beasts, how could they—" Tan Fong calmly explained, "The higher the level of the beast, the higher their intelligence. Knowing how to use strategies is also something they can do. Underestimating them could lead to death without knowing why." After that, he quickly stood up and seriously advised, "There will be a bloody battle here. You should stay away." Liu Nguyen panicked, stopping him. "You can't go! This is a trap!" He couldn't help but curve his lips slightly, feeling a bit amused. "This is a trap made just for me. If I don't go, it would be a pity." Seeing him dive headfirst into the snare, Liu Nguyen immediately raised her hand, worriedly calling his name in her heart. While they were still busy performing to create a joyful atmosphere, suddenly a few members of the group saw Tan Fong charging in. One of the fierce Ma Tuong quickly reported to everyone, "He's here." The others, hearing this, immediately turned hostile, filled with murderous intent. They whispered to each other like chanting a spell, "He's here, he's here. I really want to eat him. The smell of humans. I can't believe he actually showed up. The despicable human, will the king kill him?" After discussing, the group of fierce Ma Tuong instinctively stepped back. They formed 2 lines, opening a path for Tan Fong to advance toward the fierce Ma Tuong Vuong. As he walked, he silently counted in his heart a total of 67 fierce Ma Tuong and 3 fierce Ma Ho Tuong. Suddenly, a few fierce Ma Tuong spoke up, discussing, "He killed the Ho Tuong. He looks so weak! How could he possibly kill our warrior? He must have used some despicable trick!" Facing their scornful remarks, Tan Fong didn't feel like speaking up. He merely shot them a cold glance. Then he couldn't help but feel a surge of anger and thought to himself, "Just because of you guys, you dare to speak ill of me." The fierce Ma Tuong, seeing this, broke out in a cold sweat, exclaiming, "This human's aura is too strong. I really hate him." At that moment, he quietly counted in his heart a total of 67. The fierce beast warriors suddenly started discussing how he had killed the guardian. "He looked so weak. How could he possibly kill our warrior? He must have used some underhanded trick. What a despicable person." In response to their mocking comments, Tan Fong remained silent. He merely cast a cold glance at them, feeling a surge of anger rising within. "Just look at you all daring to speak ill of me." The beast warrior, seeing this, broke into a cold sweat and lamented, "This human is really too fierce." At that moment, the fierce beast elephant king suddenly let out a couple of grunts to grab Tan Fong's attention. Then, with one arm around the beautiful mermaid, he let his other arm hang down and spoke arrogantly. "Finally, the humans have arrived." Hearing this, he replied somewhat politely, "I've heard of the elephant king's reputation as the ruler of the grasslands for a long time. Meeting you today is indeed impressive," while secretly assessing him. He estimated that the combat power was only 6 stars higher than his own. Lower than he imagined. The Beast King should at least be like this humanoid elephant. The system's notification immediately appeared, displaying the fierce beast elephant king as a royal level beast. Level 12, combat power rating 25 stars. Characteristics include bloodthirsty territorial consciousness and physical enhancement at level D. Control of the land at level D, skill unknown, drop rate is 100%. Hearing Tan Fong say this, the fierce beast Elephant King smiled widely and said, "Humans really know how to talk. You have killed 14 of my people, including one who was a trusted guardian of mine. The fierce beast clan has been humiliated like this. How should I deal with you?" Faced with his threatening question, Tan Fong was not afraid at all. He calmly expressed his thoughts. "The Elephant King is setting a trap to lure me in. I suspect it's not just about wanting my life," he admitted with a sigh. "Indeed, you are much stronger than those dead trash." The priest behind him was startled and called out to the king, but he ignored it and continued speaking. "I hold you in high regard!" He pointed directly at Tan Fong and loudly commanded, "Submit to me!" Hearing this, Tan Fong was extremely shocked and thought to himself, "What he seriously suggests that not only will he absolve you of your crimes, but he will also promote you to the guardian of the fierce beast clan, the spirit and food. You will have everything a woman should have. You will be the luckiest human in all of heaven and earth." Tan Fong pretended to negotiate, saying, "Before making a decision, I have a question for the Elephant King." He couldn't help but marvel inwardly. Inviting a human to join the fierce beast clan showed that the intelligence of this Elephant King was indeed not low. The fierce beast Elephant King calmly replied, "Ask away." Tan Fong immediately voiced his curiosity. "I've heard that in the great world, powerful beings can ride clouds and winds, move mountains and fill seas, and even with a wave of their hand, can destroy heaven and earth. Is this true or just talk?" Hearing this, the Elephant King couldn't help but be curious and asked, "Do you know about the great world?" The priest, a bit surprised, replied, "No, I know of a powerful human being." While he was speaking, the mermaid with orange hair suddenly smiled and exclaimed, "The idea of moving mountains and filling seas, destroying heaven and earth, is something only the heavenly path could achieve." The fierce beast Elephant King continued, "The grassland is the edge of the world. The great world you speak of does not exist." Tan Fong quickly crossed his arms and inwardly mocked him. Not being able to perceive the true eye and not knowing about the great world in the mission is truly disappointing, he thought. The Elephant King was trapped in this small world and knew nothing. Tan Fong decisively swung his sword, and the fierce beast Elephant King asked in a deep voice, "Is this your decision?" Tan Fong stepped forward calm in the face of the fierce gazes of the fierce beast elephants. He answered, "Submitting to the Elephant King means turning my back on humanity. From now on, joining the ranks of the fierce beasts will lead to being scorned. I can't make this decision lightly," and stopped speaking. Standing tall before the fierce beast elephants, a proud smile appeared on his lips. When he raised his sword, he coldly challenged, "Unless I win." Suddenly, a series of sounds echoed. Miyamoto stood solemnly staring intently at the virtual screen in front of him. Takeda beside him quickly turned to look as well, and on the screen, an elderly man appeared looking anxious. His voice was urgent. "Miyamoto-kun, I am Amir Khan from number 446. His eyes were glued to the screen. Miyamoto asked in a deep voice, "What's going on?" Amiya immediately explained, "I heard that in the new village number 911 there is a talented individual from the Dragon Kingdom at level C with an extremely fast leveling speed. Tomorrow he will definitely become a powerful being. Some strong villages in area number 1 want to recruit him. If the Dragon Kingdom takes the upper hand in the future, I'm afraid you all won't be able to live well in this brutal world. Some of the stronger villages in Zone 1 wanted to recruit him. If the Long Kingdom takes control, I fear that you all won't be able to live well in this brutal world." From the screen, Ami's voice continued to echo. "Of course I believe that with Miyamoto-kun's strength he can handle it." Before the old man could finish speaking, Miyamoto coldly swung his sword. With a single slash, the virtual screen instantly shattered. Then Miyamoto calmly stated, "This is the 5th person to use a forced communication device to contact me." While Miyamoto was pondering the item in his hand, Takeda with a serious expression spoke up. "I heard that Amiya Khan fought for resources and lost. Tan Fong has always wanted revenge on those guys, and they don't mean well. I think we should be more cautious," someone beside him added. "Miyamoto-kun has an A-rank talent. Killing Tan Fong is as easy as squashing an ant." Miyamoto's face suddenly turned fierce after hearing those words. He crushed the item in his hand and coldly said, "No way, just like them." An emergency alert from the system rang out, announcing the activation of the forced communication betting order for the new player village number 911. Starting the resource betting competition, the content of this match. The new player village with a level 9 expert will win this competition. In another scene, the Beast Warrior King with his gigantic body and immense strength. He swung 2 scythes towards Tan Fong. He quickly dodged and then soared into the air, launching a sharp sword strike downwards. In that moment, he silently assessed. The energy armor was indeed very sturdy, but it didn't give him any extra time to think. The Beast Warrior King unexpectedly swung another strike, and Tan Fong, caught off guard, shouted in panic, "Oh no, if I can't injure the king, I won't be able to gauge its healing abilities." Just then, the Beast Warrior King unleashed a new move. A misty net enveloped Tan Fong, which was the Earth-type shield imprisoning all his movements. Taking advantage of that, the Beast Warrior King swung his scythe fiercely, sending Tan Fong flying far away. His body slammed hard against the rock, and a mouthful of blood spilled from Tan Fong's lips. He struggled to use his sword as a support to prop himself up. His other hand clutched his chest in pain. He helplessly thought, "The Earth-type shield I took from the Beast Guardian couldn't withstand a single blow from it." The Beast Warrior King, with a fierce demeanor and a gleaming scythe, pointed directly at him. His voice full of authority rang out. You have an Earth-type talent that is very compatible with the Beast Clan. I will give you one last chance to think. Tan Fong coughed a few times, cursing under his breath. Damn it, good thing I still have my trump card right now. From his hand, brilliant rays of light burst forth. Tan Fong smirked coldly and said, "If you want me to join, fine. You withdraw first and then I'll roar, 'I am the king.'" Immediately, the ground erupted and massive stakes rose up to block the Beast Warrior King's path, catching him off guard. But then his face quickly filled with anger. Humans don't know what's good for them. With a few powerful slashes, the large stakes were completely destroyed. The Beast Warrior King's eyes burned with rage as he roared, "Prepare to face my wrath." Feeling something unusual was about to happen, Tan Fong's expression suddenly changed. Before he could react, he was swept into a massive sand vortex. Even though Tan Fong noticed the anomaly and quickly tried to dodge, the flowing sand had already engulfed him. It wrapped around his limbs, extremely flexible and agile, pulling Tan Fong deeper and deeper. Not only that, but the flowing sand also formed large ropes to tighten around his neck. Despite this, he held himself back from panicking. The king's skill was indeed difficult to deal with. While thinking, Tan Fong gritted his teeth and resisted fiercely. Exhausted, he struggled to break free, shouting loudly, "Control the Earth system, harden!" Just at that moment, the sharp sand vortex was about to pierce his eyes. As Tan Fong struggled, gritting his teeth in fierce resistance, he summoned every ounce of strength to break free, standing up and shouting to control the solidified earth just as the sharp sand spirals were about to pierce his eyes. Tan Fong was almost going crazy. "Come on, solidify!" Finally, that technique worked, hardening all the sand that was attacking him, saving him from the brink of death. The sand gradually shattered, breaking apart and being swept away by the wind. Tan Fong breathed a sigh of relief. That was close. He almost got pulled down by that muddy sand. Before he could catch his breath, the massive sharp blade of the Statue King came crashing down on him. Tan Fong reacted quickly, turning to face that divine strike. In the blink of an eye, Tan Fong swiftly soared high, avoiding the spot where the blade struck. It was unimaginable how any flesh could withstand that blade. The ground where the Statue King's attack landed erupted in a massive explosion. As he flew up to a vantage point, Tan Fong unleashed a flurry of sharp strikes in retaliation. The Statue King's command to shoot was just as formidable as him. He stood tall and proud, right in the rain of arrows, having created a transparent armor for himself. No object could easily penetrate it, but that armor wasn't perfect. The technique of Tan Fong could still affect him a little. An Yanjiang observed closely the damage he was taking. The sharp hellfire-tipped spikes hit him. Suddenly, a dangerous-looking streak of light appeared in the mist, rushing straight towards Tan Fong. He was completely unprepared since he was the one being attacked. Under his watchful eyes, he saw that Tan Fong didn't move at all. This moment of carelessness from Tan Fong caused him to take a massive hit, sending him flying away from Tan Fong. Using his sword and his body honed from years of martial arts, he struggled to stand firm. The Statue King gripped both blades tightly, asking, "What technique is this?" "How naive to let your weaknesses show so easily to your opponent," he muttered. "You could really get hurt." His eyes sparked with determination and resolve as he shouted, "Then once again!" Tan Fong pressed his hands to the ground, channeling his inner power to summon hellfire. Immediately, a surge of energy erupted, blasting away all obstacles in a direct path towards the Statue King. He bravely held both blades together, forming a shield and standing firm instead of dodging. However, this time was completely different. The fierce blue flames truly burned through his protective layer, turning it to ash that floated away, leaving him unprotected. The Statue King realized he was in a precarious situation. His eyes widened in disbelief at what was happening at that moment. A notification appeared reminding him that the target was taking damage from hellfire. Those flames not only burned, but also tore through flesh and skin, creating a horrific scene. Tan Fong furrowed his brow tightly. Finally, he broke through its defenses. Its healing speed was slower than that of the fierce demon general. Could it be due to the hellfire? The Statue King was no different from a wild beast. Unable to take it anymore, he went berserk, roaring and smashing everything around him, shaking the very heavens. However, he was still considered a formidable leader. For what purpose in this life-and-death moment he was being foolish? The Statue King carved out a massive stone block, lifting it high to use as leverage. Without hesitation, he exerted all his strength to hurl the gigantic stone. It was aimed straight at Tan Fong, who was expected to take a clean hit. Avoiding such a large rock was difficult, discarding it was even harder. Tan Fong decided to brace himself with all his might. Of course, human strength has its limits. He gritted his teeth, trying to control the earth element to turn it into sand, but the stone still bore down heavily on him, ready to crush him. Sending his energy to a dangerously low level, he couldn't use any other skills. It felt like lightning struck his ears, and he was startled facing the imposing Statue King. "Human, this king appreciates you, but my mercy can make you hallucinate." The Statue King temporarily lifted the stone, causing Tan Fong to buckle at the knees. Sweat poured down, and he felt he could hardly hold on any longer. His eyes were filled with rage and unwillingness, cursing the hellfire for draining too much of his energy. Meanwhile, the Statue King commanded the earth element. Instantly, the stone transformed into hundreds of fists, relentlessly pounding towards him. He maliciously declared, "This king must let you taste true suffering." Tan Fong's strength was now just standing still, bracing for the impact. Liu Nian, hiding nearby, witnessed the entire scene of devastation that Tan Fong was enduring from the Statue King. She was in so much pain, her mind racing with thoughts of what to do. Tan Fong was about to be beaten to death. What should she do? She urged herself to do something. What could she possibly do? Alone and limited in ability, Liu Nian quickly broke down, clutching her head in despair, blaming herself for everything. It was all her fault. What should she do? I should just die. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have called for Tan Fong. I brought him to his death. I'm just a jinx. It's all my fault. What should I do? Those toxic thoughts dragged her down into the depths of despair, when suddenly a gentle voice broke through, awakening Liu Nian's senses. She looked up calmly. Tears were still streaming down her cheeks as she remembered that he had once told her that if she couldn't stay calm, there would only be one way out. At that moment, the two were participating in training in the exploration forest, where he gently explained that during the battle, the 4 stats would decrease when they dropped to a low level. The normal person's ability to act would be limited. They could choose to rest or eat something to recover. He held the herb in his hand, looking at her sincerely, but the situation was extremely urgent. The herb could be used to replenish the 4 stats. In an instant, those memories flooded back into her mind, vivid and compelling, urging her to save him with the information provided, but unfortunately, after the herb was picked, it had to be used quickly. Otherwise, its effectiveness would drop sharply. She stopped crying, her heart full of determination, saying that the herb could indeed help Tan Fong. Thinking it was time to act, she sincerely knelt down, transmitting the message with all her heart. My fellow compatriots, I am a friend of Tan Fong. Right now, he is fighting for precious resources. The situation was extremely urgent. They needed the herb immediately. Please, everyone lend a hand. That news quickly spread in all directions, causing a commotion everywhere. What Tan Fong is in danger? Where is he now? I'm coming to help. How can you prove what you said is true? Tell Tan Fong to say something. Is he already upstairs? I already said the situation is extremely urgent. How can Tan Fong say something so significant? I can't fool everyone. Please help. Tan Fong has appeared, and people were so anxious they swore without caring about their image. Damn it, Tan Fong can't be dead, right? Then our fight for resources is doomed. I don't want to lose to those dwarf bastards. Immediately take the herb and hide it to trade for Tan Fong. Many people quickly agreed to help. Right, I'll trade too. I have a herb, but there are fierce beasts guarding it. Who's coming to help? Let's coordinate. Our team will be there soon. I also have a powerful ally. You must hold on Tan Fong. The herb has been delivered and provided to him. They all united as one for Tan Fong. We are all his support. A series of messages flooded in. Vuong Vu sent you the blood herb. Nat Jia Mak Vu sent you the heavenly bone herb. Nai Jia. Lun Nguyen sent you the continuity wood. Nat Jia Trin Thui sent you the fire thunder fruit. Nai Jia. Just like that, Tan Fong gradually regained his breath, his complexion showing a bit of vigor. Vuong was extremely shocked. What's going on? He didn't respond. Instead, he stood up and grabbed a herb without time to waste. He needed to fight right now, holding the herb in his hand, continuously absorbing it, not uttering a word, leaving the enemy completely bewildered. He shouted, "Hey, human, what kind of trick are you playing?" In the blink of an eye, his recovery power added 10 energy points, then 20, then another 20 and 15 more. His strength was gradually filling up, or rather it was even increasing more than before. Vuong was in a hurry, wielding his spear to respond to the 4 human warriors. But the Tan Fong now was like the moon compared to the Tan Fong from a few minutes ago. He punched down, shaking the ground, summoning that deadly blue flame once again. Dust filled the air, creating a hazy illusion. While Vuong was busy dispersing the smoke to locate him, he appeared like a demon, casually saying, "What am I doing?" Tan Fong, engulfed in blue flames, held his sword, moving in for a perfect strike. He paused, his eyes sharp, of course. Tan Fong leaped up, sword raised, with the arrogant smile of a strong man. Vuong was now in disarray, confused as he was still busy looking around nervously. Fearful, he charged forward with his sword, stabbing into Vuong's body. As he got closer, a message popped up. Target injured by hellfire. He placed one hand right over Vuong's heart, saying, "Sorry, I missed the cut." Vuong was so scared he froze, sweating cold, constantly questioning how a tiny human could do this. Tan Fong pierced straight through Vuong, his expression unchanged. After finishing, he coldly said, "I originally wanted to behead you." His subordinates were utterly terrified. Standing still like a statue, Vuong was completely defeated. From his heart, a piece of information flew out, revealing the Earth-type royal core. Tan Fong was scrolling through the system panels, which continuously displayed new notifications like, "Killed the fierce demon Vuong level 12 successfully. Received 4,000 energy points for killing the fierce demon Vuong level 12 successfully. Picked up the quest item Earth-type royal core. Successfully killed the fierce demon Vuong level 12. He found the white-silver treasure, raising his level to 9 agility, plus 10 physique, plus 10. Tan Fong, having devoured the new player 911, reached the first level 9. Defeating the new player 911 yielded extremely rich resources this time. Congratulations! Tan Fong received an additional 50 attribute points from defeating the new player 911, doubling the resources. At this moment, the soldiers of the fierce demon priest continuously appeared. They emerged in droves, their eyes glowing red, shouting for revenge for the Statue King, wanting to kill him and avenge the Statue King. Tan Fong was overwhelmed by them. He tried to use his skills to escape while the statue soldiers surrounded him, shouting loudly, "Don't think that just because you outnumber me, you can win." Tan Fong charged forward. He swung his sword towards the fierce demon priest soldiers. At the same time, he shouted loudly, "Heavenly Tao distributes attribute points." Suddenly, the area around him transformed into another space, and the system interface continuously displayed numerous new notifications. Successfully killed the Berserk Fierce Demon Statue level 12. Received 610 energy points for killing the Berserk Fierce Demon Statue level 12 successfully. Received 610 energy points, level 9, 1,200 out of 100,000 class, 2 judge, not over 200 prestige 29. Among the new players, Strength 223 plus 7 enhanced Strength level D, Agility 241 plus 15 enhanced Speed level D. Physique 217, Enhanced Physique Level D, Poison Resistance plus 100%, Essence 274, Enhanced Perception Level D, Enhanced Hearing Level. Enhanced Vision Level E, Enhanced Smell Level F, Elemental Control, Talent, Earth Level D, Fire Level D, Darkness Level D, Bloodline Talent, Enhanced Bloodline Level E. Dragon Bloodline Talent, Eternal Fate Extraction Level, SSS Skill. True Sight Level 1, Hellfire Level 2, Chaotic Transformation Level 2, Self-Healing Level 1, Defense Technique Level 3, Combat Power Assessment. 23 stars appeared beneath Tan Fong's feet, forming a glowing circle like a formation. Then Tan Fong jumped up and charged at the fierce demon warrior. Tan Fong shouted loudly, feeling his power continuously surge, truly making him ecstatic. He attacked them so quickly that they couldn't react. Tan Fong continued to shout, "Let's go!" The system interface displayed new notifications again, successfully killing the Berserk Fierce Demon Statue, level 12. Received 607 energy points. After defeating the soldiers of the Fierce Demon Priest, Tan Fong landed heavily on the ground, panting. The fierce demon priest pointed at him and then turned to his comrades, saying, "You all stay back. When he comes to kill, ambush him." Hearing this, everyone shouted loudly in response. The fierce demon priest then laughed loudly, speaking with a tone of certainty, "I don't believe a single person can stop over 100 fierce demon warriors." As soon as he finished speaking, the fierce demon warriors immediately charged forward, their red eyes flashing as they swung their swords and roared at Tan Fong. Suddenly, Tan Fong's eyes. Fong shone with a blue light that enveloped his pupils. Then Tan Fong extended his hand, casting a spell, and blue flames erupted from his hand, spreading everywhere. Tan Fong just smiled and said, "Yeah, hellfire." Tan Fong used magic to engulf the entire area in a sea of blue flames, causing the fierce demon warriors to scream in pain. The system board now displays new notifications: successfully killed the level 12 mutated guardian beast. You received 1,700 energy points for defeating the level 12 mutated beast commander. After picking up the bronze shield, Tan Fong looked towards the beast priest and thought to himself that the beast priest was indeed a troublemaker. Immediately he charged forward and attacked him. He ran while shouting, "Let's deal with you first." The beast priest, seeing this, was terrified and stammered. Just then, a fierce beast warrior charged out. It took a fatal blow for the beast priest, who was now extremely frightened, and stood still while Tan Fong watched the beast warrior collapse right in front of him. Tan Fong spoke again, actively running towards him with his sword drawn. Could it be that this beast priest also has the ability to control the ferocious beasts? At that moment, a new notification appeared on the system. Successfully killed the level 12 mutated beast commander. Receiving 1,700 energy points, the fierce mage priest witnessed his kin collapsing to the ground. He trembled and instinctively shouted, You fierce mage priest," pointing at Tan Fong's face. "Quick, attack him!" Tan Fong glanced over at the fierce mage priest. He had already turned to run far away, shouting as he fled, "Wait for me. I will definitely lead the fierce mage army back to kill you." Seeing him run with all his might like that, Tan Fong helplessly said, "He's running away." Immediately, Tan Fong jumped high, thrusting his sword into the head of the fierce mage priest, causing him to freeze in place. At this moment, the system boards displayed new notifications. Successfully killed the fierce mage priest of level 12, receiving 1,700 energy points. Successfully killed the fierce mage priest of level 12. Picking up the copper treasure chest, Tan Fong was now holding a small chest with a serious expression. He said, "Running away and still knowing how to use tricks, I guess you're a bit clever." After saying that, Tan Fong sheathed his sword, turned to look at the remaining fierce mage warriors rushing to attack him, and remarked, "But these guys aren't very clever." Then he suddenly charged forward and shouted, "Witness this!" Tan Fong slammed down onto the ground, and his magical flames quickly spread out, engulfing the fierce mage warriors. At this moment, new notifications appeared again. Tan Fong, holding his sword, smiled lightly as he looked at the new notifications. Successfully killed the furious fierce mage statue of level 12. Received 610 energy points. Successfully killed the furious fierce mage statue of level 12, receiving 610 energy points. Furious fierce mage statue of level 12 successfully killed. Received 610 energy points for killing the furious fierce mage statue of level 12 successfully. Received 610 energy points for killing the furious fierce mage statue of level 12 successfully. Liung He, hiding behind a rock, was now scared stiff. Her face had turned pale, and Luo Jia and the others were being tied up. Witnessing this scene were also terrified to the point of wide-eyed shock mouths agape. At that moment, no one spoke, but they all shared the same thought. "It's a demon, right?" After that battle, the dark atmosphere was shattered, the smoke slowly dissipated, and the sky turned blue with white clouds and golden sunlight. Then Luo Jia and the others bowed their heads, hands offering fruits, and said, "Tan Fong, big brother, please accept this." Then Luo Jia raised his head, a joyful expression on his face, saying, "You saved us. We have nothing valuable, just these things." The boy beside them quickly spoke up. "To be saved by Tan Fong is truly a stroke of luck." Another boy next to him smiled and added, "It's just a small token of appreciation. Please accept it," with hopeful eyes. Everyone opened their sparkling eyes wide, waiting for Tan Pong's response, but Tan Fong said, "These low-level items." Hearing this, they all felt sad and disappointed, their faces darkening. Immediately, Tan Pong changed his tone and wording, reaching out to touch the fruits, and said, "These spirit fruits aren't bad." Suddenly, a golden chicken started continuously clucking, chip, chip, chip. The chicken's incessant clucking made everyone freeze, feeling extremely awkward. Luo Jia hurriedly grabbed the golden chicken and said, I'm sorry, this is a useless item I accidentally opened." "I forgot to throw away this golden chicken." It kept clucking, chip, chip, chip. Tan Fong looked at the golden chicken and thought for a moment, interesting. Next, Tan Fong touched the golden chicken with his hand, and the system board displayed information about the item, Super Clucking Chicken Level 0 Combat Power Not Evaluated. Characteristic extremely noisy, super loud, 1 chicken outshines 100. Tan Fong then turned and walked away saying, "I will take these. The level 10 beast area is not a place for you to stay. Hurry, leave here." Everyone followed right after Tan Fong. The boy wearing a hat from earlier said, "Tan Fong big brother is so concerned about us, it's so touching." Another boy next to him added, "He's really good, honestly." A gentle breeze blew through the willow grove, causing her hair to flutter. She thought to herself, "Although our time together is short, I know for sure that you will become the strongest." Looking at Tan Pong's figure from afar, she silently thought about where he wanted to go. "In the future, it will be a place that ordinary people like me can never reach. But that's okay. I will always watch over you like countless others do." Tan Fong looked at the trembling snake women in fear and put on a frightening expression, then said, "So what should we do with these 2 snake women next?" The orange-haired snake woman hearing this was extremely frightened, but still tried to speak loudly with a trembling voice. "We are just dancers, my lord." The blonde snake woman quickly added, "We have never harmed any humans. Please spare us, my lord." Suddenly, the system interface appeared again with new information. Charm Beast Snake Woman Level 10 Strategic Evaluation No. Charm Dance Level E, Soft Body Level E, Harmless Beast Trait, feeds on spirit fruits, relies on dancing to survive, or clings to high-level beasts. Tan Fong reached out towards the snake woman, but at that moment he was thinking that the strategic evaluation was surprisingly strong. Then he touched an object of a certain color, something blue behind the head of the blonde snake woman. He thought to himself that he had noticed this thing from the beginning. Then Tan Fong snatched it away, frowning and thinking, "Just as I thought." It was a plant. The system interface then displayed "Successfully Retrieved." Tan Fong reached out towards the 2 snake women and said seriously, "Answer my question and I will let you both go." The 2 snake women were now crying uncontrollably, tears streaming down their faces as they looked at Tan Fong. Suddenly, they ran away frantically without even bothering to untie the strings from their heads. Meanwhile, Tan Fong was standing there looking at the system interface to read the notifications. He thought to himself, strange talent. Like a seductive dance and a soft body, he thought, seems unnecessary to retrieve. Suddenly, Tan Fong imagined transforming into a snake man and dancing those ridiculous dances. Tan Fong was startled and thought, "Damn, I can't take it anymore." Then he walked over to the gathering place of the Beast Warriors' corpses. He opened the system and thought to himself, "I need to submit the 5 Elements mission and rearrange my strategy." After collecting the loot this time, he headed to the next mission location. Suddenly, he saw something and snorted. The system interface was displaying comments from others. Some were saying, "Damn. I'm so pissed off those damn dogs lost and still won't accept it, accusing Tan Lao Dai of cheating." Others chimed in, "Tan Lao Dai's strength is definitely the best in the area." A group of them, envious and resentful of others, also chimed in, "You lost and still dare to boast like that, you should get slapped a few more times." Tan Fong read these lines. He angrily widened his eyes and said, "So the losers in the Central Highlands are blaming me." Then Tan Fong took out an item called the Extreme Eye. His gaze was sharp as a knife. Tan Fong smirked and said, "Those damn dogs haven't seen the coffin yet and they're already crying. If that's the case, let me give you a lesson to remember well." The Extreme system then appeared, updating the information. Extreme command only appears once in each beginner village. Only the highest level person in the village can use it. You have activated the Extreme command. Tan Fong received an additional reminder. Each beginner village has only 1 Extreme command resource. Each area has the opportunity to use it 100 times. This is the 79th use of the Extreme command in this area, he wondered. Oh, there are limitations on the number of times I'm even more interested now. So it's true that the stronger the brave, the weaker the coward. You take a look around and notice the top-tier powerhouses like Edward Amir Khan Miyamoto and Nami. They dare to start a risky bet even if it means losing. Meanwhile, the weak, who have the resources to place bets, either hesitate and don't dare to use them or choose to trade with the stronger ones in the village. You scroll through the screen and make your selection. The betting interface has started inviting you to choose your betting method. You breathe a sigh of relief, grateful that you acted in time. Otherwise, you might have missed out on a great opportunity. The system displays the options for you to choose from. Choose the personal betting method. The personal betting match allows you to select a novice village to bet resources with the usual reward and penalty levels. You can choose multiple targets for the match. Our side can also invite the Minhu village to join and form a match to conduct bets with high reward and penalty rates. Tan Fong feels excited but also anxious. How can I defeat 20-something rival villages in one go now that the opportunity has come? Your eyes widen with determination. This time I must teach those guys a lesson they'll never forget. Later, I chose my own reminder system, which initiates the duel. If I lose the duel, the punishment is doubled. If I win, the reward is doubled. The double reward invites the selection of the green village of the opponent, the newbie village number 5, the newbie village number 446, and the newbie village number 21. Please select the red village of Feta, newbie village number 911, newbie village number 34, and newbie village number 77 to complete the duel selection. A flash of lightning struck hard, bringing up an emergency notification for the newbie village number 911, initiating the extreme duel command for the first time. The extreme duel of the duel zone reduces resources by 70%. Everyone loses 50 points while the winning side receives double resources. Everyone gains 50 points in attributes. In solo combat, killing monsters can earn accumulated points, but killing the boss does not grant accumulated points for the duel. Accumulate 1,000 points before winning. Killing a level 5 monster grants 1 point, killing a level 6 boss grants 2 points, and killing a level 7 boss grants 3 points, and so on. Hearing a loud noise, everyone looked up. But some were curious, while others were scared. A few shouted, "Tan Lao Dai, this trick is amazing! Don't spare anyone who has ever insulted our long country. Our village still has new level 1 players. If they lose points, they will end up with negative points, fearing that the heavenly path will take their lives right on the spot." Tan Lao Dai fiercely slapped the people from Country M Country R and laughed. They added, "What are we afraid of? We have Tan Fong Lao Dai. How could we possibly lose? That's right, that's right. Tan Lao Dai must have the plan to ensure victory." The system announces the current duel of the green side newbie village number 5, newbie village number 446, newbie village number 21, newbie village number 383, newbie village number 832, newbie village number 114, newbie village number 359, newbie village number 513, newbie village number 268, newbie village number 753, newbie village number 482, newbie village number 369. The duel of the red side. Newbie village number 911, newbie village number 34, newbie village number 77, with the red side having 3 duel counts and the green side having 24 during the betting process. The duel between the two sides temporarily suspends the channel function. The area starts to press the channel and they stammered ba 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 while the duel echoes throughout the area. Takeda said, "Mr. Miyamoto, from level 5 there are 12 people, 9 at level 6 and 2 at level 7. He added that due to resources being halved, everyone's strength has weakened. In level 5, 6 people cannot face level 5 monsters alone." Miyamoto replied, "If it weren't for Tan Fong winning the last duel, we couldn't afford to lose this time. We will definitely win. We have 24 newbie villages while they only have 3. He drew his sword with a fierce gaze and said, "I will definitely wash away the humiliation from last time." He patted Takeda-kun on the shoulder. "If we fail again, I will commit seppuku." "You are the one they recommended." He was moved, his voice trembling. "Mr. Miyamoto, the system starts announcing 10 minutes until the official start of the duel. Now starting the countdown, 9 hours 59 minutes. Long Tuong Ho's defense power increases by 20, physical strength increases by 5, and earth resistance increases by 100%. Long Tuong's strength increases by 30, giant strength increases by 25, and earth resistance increases by 100%. After everything gradually forms, armor surrounds Tan Fong. Long Tuong's defense power increases by 70, physical strength increases by 5, and earth resistance increases by 100%. Long Tuong Vuong's defense power increases by 110, physical strength increases by 10, and resistance increases by 100%. After gradually revealing its form, the haunting figure swiftly increases by 20. His eyes open, revealing fiery blue flames shining brightly. The system begins to activate, successfully obtaining the silver shield. Receiving the item, the 4th grade fire spirit liquid. He looked around his body, feeling a surge of power as he absorbed the fire spirit liquid successfully. Earth resistance increases by 100%, and the fire system's talent evolves to level C. Fire Chi's consciousness allows him to feel the power around him. Joyfully, he exclaimed about the new equipment, feeling his strength has significantly increased. The system displays the rank level 923,870 over 100,000 with the judge class at level 2, not over 200 and reputation 29 top newbie. Strength 262 plus 58 for strength enhancement level D. Agility 263 plus 15 for speed enhancement level D. Physical strength 277 plus 20. Physical enhancement level. D resistance to toxins increased by 100%. Vitality, 274, mental enhancement level D, hearing enhancement level D, vision enhancement level D, smell enhancement level F, elemental fire talent, and foot intention level C. Earth control level D, fire control level D, shadow control level D, bloodline talent, bloodline enhancement level E, dragon blood talent, and infinite fate extraction level SSS. True eye skill level 1, hellfire level 2. Mysterious star transformation level 2. Self-healing level 1, guard technique level 3, combat power evaluation 28 stars and an exoa. With a combat power of 28, he smiled as he scrolled through the leaderboard. Great, now let's challenge the next Beast King. The system sequentially displayed notifications for mission level C, break the 5-element seal, unlimited time. You have obtained the Monarch's core, suggesting you first go to the Gathering Mountain in the west of the Lilac Prairie. Kill the Devouring Golden Ant Queen to receive the Monarch's core. Reminder, the Devouring Golden Ant Queen is a level 13 beast. It is recommended to form a group with at least 40 level 10 experts. Tan Fong stroked his chin, thinking for a moment. I need 40 level 10 experts. Could it be that the strength of the Devouring Golden Ant Queen is double that of the Monarch ranking? The countdown timer appeared. At 5 hours, 29 minutes, and 29 seconds, he looked up. If that's the case, I need to prepare a few things. Poison is... One of the greatest inventions in human history is that weak women can kill strong men. One person can take down an entire enemy squad. Some call poison the weapon of the weak, while others believe that as long as it can kill the enemy, it is a useful weapon. The toxin from the castor bean is one of the top 10 deadly poisons. It is 6,000 times more toxic than arsenic. Just a dose of less than 1 milligram can be fatal. The most famous assassination using castor bean poison occurred in the year 1000. In 978, an international spy used a castor bean toxin-coated dart to carry out an assassination in a public case. He succeeded. The moment he saw the castor bean on the floor, a plan formed in his mind. He said, "Next the system will extract the toxin successfully." He kept absorbing it. The system continuously displayed toxin extraction successful. Toxin extraction successful, toxin extraction successful. After absorbing it, he felt his body. He was curious if this toxin was enough to kill 200 or 300 beasts. He tried mixing snake venom and castor bean toxin to see if it would create something more interesting, an unnamed toxic item with highly toxic properties. The system tested it. He looked at it and said, "Highly toxic. If I could find a beast to test it on, that would be great." Suddenly, a white tiger walked by. He directed his gaze at it. Its eyes sparkled as if saying, "Don't try it on me." It was a level 10 beast. Seeing its eyes, he felt excited. He lunged at its body. "Come here, little cat." It was scared, but couldn't run away. In an instant, it collapsed and died. He sighed. Just a drop could kill a level 10 beast in the blink of an eye. I really am a genius. He stepped on its body, pointing into the void, determined to create more and then head to the gathering mountain. With a killing intent, he stood high above, looking down at the valley of the mountain gorge. The air was fresh and cool. He stood there. Like a king surveying his kingdom, the system reported the iron ore quality, which was one of the basic resources of the novice village. Its effectiveness could be used to build the novice village. He said, "Let's gather the good stuff first." Then he squatted down one hand on the ground, feeling it, while the other summoned a weapon. Suddenly he heard a noise and glanced back. Tan Fong was surprised to see a huge monster appear in the rock crevice while its small offspring were only as big as a regular spider. But there were quite a few of them. They were leaving the nest, and the largest one looked at him with fierce eyes. The system reminded him beast-devouring golden ant. Level 12 combat power evaluation 16 stars. Characteristics metal devouring fearless absolute protection talent. Enhancing strength level E. Metal sensing level F skill unknown drop rate 1.2%. The large beast seemed to ignore him. It went to take the large stone and looked around. Suddenly, large metal wires shot up from the ground, wrapping around its body, but luckily it dodged and used a large stone to block it. But another piece fell from the sky. It wondered for a few seconds as the metallic thing continued to charge at it, stabbing up from the ground through its body after it was dealt with. He stood looking at his spoils and said, sensing the metal system and controlling the earth system. After stacking them up, the attack power increased significantly, but the energy consumption also rose sharply when he looked back. Those creatures were the same size as the big one earlier, and Tan Fong had already dealt with them thoroughly, not to mention these low-intelligence ants had the attribute of not fearing death, he said while using the finishing move on the monster he was stepping on. If he didn't land a precise blow to their heads, they would still charge forward regardless of everything. Even if the legs were completely destroyed, the body had split into two halves. The system reported the kill of the metalworker and earning 8 accumulated points and 620 experience points. He grumbled, "It's really annoying. If I could use poison, it would be much easier, but these giant ants are too scattered, and with my current strength, I can't cover them all." With all of them in such a large area, he led a monster he had just dealt with and threw it hard away, thinking of a way to make them gather in one place. He shouted loudly, "Hey, ants, come attack us!" That head was thrown straight into the center of the ant swarm. They looked at him with their furious red eyes, raising both their spiky front legs in anger and roaring loudly. He looked at the ants in front of him, thinking to himself that he couldn't understand what they were saying, but this scene really gave him goosebumps. They came in waves towards him, and at the right moment he focused, shouted loudly, "Come and taste my freshly made poison!" He threw it down hard at them. A huge explosion occurred. The poison enveloped them like rain falling to the ground, and not a single one escaped. They hadn't even climbed up to him when he fell, and the system reported the kill of the metalworker, Ant level 12, earning 8 accumulated points and 620 experience points. Killing the metalworker, Ant level 12, earned 8 accumulated points and 620 experience points killing the metalworker. Ant level 12 earned 8 accumulated points. 620 experience points for killing the metalworker. Ant level 12 earned 8 accumulated points. All the ants were dead. He was delighted with that huge loot, realizing that such giant ants were all points and energy. This was the foundation for him to win the battle. Suddenly, the system displayed a reminder that his personal accumulated points had reached 300 points. According to the rules, not to let it finish announcing, he was startled and cut it off. "I know, don't bother me. There's no need to announce these things. As long as it's a reward, I will definitely accept it. If your battle is victorious, you will receive an exceeding reward." After collecting everything, he looked up and saw, what is that? That huge monster was gradually recovering. The system displayed the mutated metal beast level 13 combat power evaluation level 23 with the attribute of being frenzied. It could swallow, metal was fearless, had absolute protection, innate enhancement of strength level E, metal sensing level F, enhanced tactile level F skill, unknown drop rate 13%. Its face was terrifying, and he thought to himself, "Here we go." He summoned the power of metal wires along with other attributes. His face became serious. The poison couldn't penetrate the goggles, so he had to use this method. He shouted, controlling a large amount that had been eliminated. The other creatures were also evolving and heading towards him. He looked at those monsters with disdain. Wanting to scatter to avoid attacks from the sharp spikes, he smiled, more frightening than innocent at such a close distance. His control ability had reached a point of hitting every target. Suddenly, a strange object flew towards him. He was surprised as it landed heavily, breaking the ground and creating a large hole. He sighed. No wonder they are high-level beasts. They threw stones at him. He could only order the worker ants to close their eyes to avoid the poison. The scattered actions made his defensive work more difficult, and they even used stones to distract him. He dodged while eliminating them. But considering the situation, he thought it wasn't good. If long-range attacks decreased efficiency, then he would switch to close combat. After that, he decisively drew his sword, preparing to fight them. Tan Fong watched the ant gnawing at his leg, realizing that the mountain-climbing ants were actually distracting him. The air was thick with dust, and he glanced at the ants with disdain. He must have been focused on killing them, attacking the ants from the top of the mountain down to the base. He shouted, "Long Tuong Yu Long Tuong Vuong, your healing technique has so many layers of protection. To hurt me, you'd have to be dreaming in broad daylight. If you all are so powerless, then let me become your nightmare." Killing the level 12. Fei Kim Ant earned him 8 accumulated points and 620 energy points. Surrounded by ants, Tan Fong kept slashing at them while observing. Around him, he killed the level 13 Fei Kim Ant, gaining 8 accumulated points and 670 energy points. One particularly aggressive ant was waiting for the right moment. At this moment, Tan Fong was surrounded by giant ants. Soon, a large swarm gathered around him, making him confused and asking what was wrong with all these ants. They charged at him all at once, and Tan Fong realized they wanted to bury him alive. At that moment, there was a tall blue pillar that seemed to reach the sky, threatening the ants. Except for the queen ant, the others were knocked out one by one. Killing the level 12 Fei Kim ant earned him 8 accumulated points and 620 energy points. Emerging from the blue flames, he killed the level 13 Fei Kim soldier, gaining 9 accumulated points and 670 energy points. The level 13 Fei Kim soldier earned him 9 accumulated points and 670 energy points. His eyes shone brightly, challenging the queen spider. "Look closely, this is my killer move." The power he generated enveloped him and lifted him high. Tan Fong gathered his strength and struck the wall, creating a large hole, successfully killing the mutated level 13 Fei Kim general. He received 200 energy points for successfully killing the mutated level 13 Fei Kim general. He received 20 accumulated points for successfully killing the mutated level 13 Fei Kim general. He received 3 points of fame as Tan Fong stepped on something. Outside the cave, amidst such fierce fighting, he stood on a pool of blood left from the previous battle, looking at the cave, ready to ask why the rear ants hadn't come out yet. Inside the dark, foggy cave, suddenly a pair of shimmering golden eyes appeared. From within, a fierce ant charged out, and with a swift move, Tan Fong took it down. Successfully killing it, Tan Fong relaxed. Brushing off his clothes, his personal accumulated points had now reached 800, while the total points of the village were 911, totaling 867 plus points from Village 34 and Village 77. He could quickly gather 1,000 points. Joyfully, he turned back to see if there were any stragglers left to contribute to his accumulated points. A swarm of ants lay scattered below. It seemed they were all gone. Calmly, he stepped on the ground, causing it to sink, and entered the cave. He used blue fire to light the way, analyzing the damp air and soft sinking ground. There was also a smell like chocolate. Tan Fong looked up at the brown chocolate flow above him, recalling reading in a book that this happens when ants encounter danger. When threatened, their heads emit a pheromone, signaling that his movements were slowing down, and they were on guard, simultaneously releasing a chocolate-like scent to alert other members of the colony. Looking at the cave before him, he was pleased to see that they seemed ready to welcome him. Entering, the Fei Kim queen lay there waiting to be served by the other ants. She was weak and sweating, letting out a sound as someone was already waiting beneath her. Newly born, they continuously worked with eggs piled up and some ants hatching right from the eggs the mother laid. Tan Fong was astonished and broke into a sweat at this sight. Suddenly, from behind, an ant was waiting to attack him, but he was still busy being amazed, realizing how she could rank 4th among the 5 great beast kings with such strong reproductive abilities. Along with the ants desperately protecting her, the 10 fierce Ma Tuong kings did not dare to confront her, the fierce Fei Kim queen at level 13. Evaluating the strategy, 30 stars. The D-class mind control ability controlled metals with an unclear drop rate of 100%. As soon as the ant touched him, he was already blocked. Block it! Then immediately counterattack regardless of the ant being cut in half on the ground. I can't help but exclaim how fierce it is refusing to lift one side while pushing the other down. It's really dangerous. If I had reacted just a little slower earlier, I might not have died, but I would have been severely injured. I can feel a sudden surge of attacking power. What is that? It's the sound waves from the queen ant, releasing a swarm of red-eyed ants glaring at me. They are swarming on the ground, targeting me and charging forward. I take a moment to admire the ants. They are pulling a large amount of iron from the bedrock and refining it into black iron armor covering the worker ants. They are really clever. Tan Fong thinks about extracting a large amount of pure essence from the stone bed to create black iron armor on the worker ants. The queen ant commands the swarm to attack Tan Fong. At this moment, Tan Fong shouts out, "Against opponents like them, I've already killed hundreds outside." Although it's said that ants can bite an elephant to death in the face of absolute power, Tan Fong swings his sword. No matter how many there are, they are just points for me to level up. Tan Fong stretches his hand forward. Try my special drink. In just a flash, Tan Fong has nearly wiped out the entire ant swarm. I hope the queen ant up high is stunned. Tan Fong looks straight into the eyes of the queen ant without any fear. The queen ant panics. How can this be? Tan Fong has stepped forward and dealt with all the little pests. Tan is lucky to block it just in time. He thinks to himself, in the air I can't change my trajectory. I have to confront it directly. Suddenly Tan Fong tells himself, strange, it doesn't feel very powerful. Could it just be a bluff? The crystal on Tan Fong's hand begins to melt. He thinks about that light. There is a highly corrosive acid, but Tan Fong is not worried. Is it that easy? Even the strongest defensive crystal armor can be corroded. This must be the queen ant's killer move. It's just a pity you met me, Tan Fong declares. The queen ant, about to spit out more liquid, is interrupted by Tan Fong, who thrusts down and shouts, "Two types of deadly poisons clash fiercely." A massive shockwave is created. The queen ant smiles smugly as Tan Fong's sword fades behind the smoke. Tan Fong says, "Now I invite you to die." As soon as he finishes speaking, Tan Fong strikes the queen ant with a powerful blow. Then he lands gracefully. The queen ant has collapsed under the strength of his innate power. Tan Fong says, "Let's go to hell together with the children of Midi." The queen ant is gasping, You! The system announces the successful kill of the level 13 queen ant. Receiving 1,000 energy points, 4 points of fame, and obtaining the mission item, the royal core, along with silver and white treasures, Tan Fong can't help but exclaim, "Not bad. So far, I've gathered 2 types of Miyamoto cores. One strike has taken the head of the big bear. I told you, Master Miyamoto, our accumulated points are already 62. According to my calculations, we have 24 villages in total, so the total points must be over 600. Miyamoto replies, "At this speed, I won't even have a chance to commit suicide." "It's really disappointing," others agree. "That's right, haha. This time, we will definitely make the Dragon Kingdom lose everything." The system displays an announcement for the area. In this extreme battle, the red side has achieved 1,000 points, declaring victory. The announcement states that the 5th village has failed. All villagers lose 50 attribute points and resource attributes decrease by 70%. The whole team is shocked. What the blue side has lost. "My legs? I can't move anymore, damn it. My attribute points are down to 7. Save me." The system announces that total points below 10 will be considered paralyzed. The announcement states that Yamamoto Taro's attribute points have dropped to negative, ending his life. The announcement states that Akita Keiko's attribute points have also dropped to negative, ending her life, with continuous deductions of 10. Takeda calls out, Master Miyamoto, I'm paralyzed." Others are calling for help. "Master Miyamoto, please save me, Master Miyamoto. What should we do? I don't want to die. Help me, Master Miyamoto, my legs. I don't want to die. It's all because of you. Help me, I can't move. Why did you mess with Tan Fong? Let me save Miyamoto standing there like a statue. Miyamoto couldn't find the words. We really lost." At this moment, Tan Fong was still down in the cave, saying, "Zip it, no energy points, no accumulation points, don't bother me," as he flicked away each ant. Tan Fong continued, "If you want to take revenge for the queen ant, you at least need to live and get stronger first." The ants whispered among themselves, then retreated. The system displayed that it was calculating the rewards. Please wait a moment. Suddenly, Tan Fong noticed something. "Oh, I remember the heavenly path," he said proudly to the system. "It was mentioned that victory was achieved in the extreme battle. I killed too many, so I didn't pay attention. Let's see what the revenue is this time." The system announced that my reputation reached 30 points, earning the title of Newbie King with a strength bonus of 20. Agility plus 20, physique plus 20, vitality plus 20, and the extreme victory reward multiplied the attributes by 100, accumulating personal points over 800. Attribute reward plus 160 points, extreme victory reward of 6 silver coins. I was the first to level up to level 10 of the Village 911. Receiving a golden coin, Tan Fong sighed. "So it turns out that having high reputation gets you titles too. It's worth my effort to kill so many fierce beasts." Plus 7 silver coins collected when killing the ant colony and the queen ant. Wait, when did I level up to 10? Tan Fong wondered about this mission. He had never seen the system display level 10. Class Judge level 2, reputation 42. Tan Fong pressed the mission button and the system announced congratulations. "You have leveled up to level 10, activating the mission of Village Chief of the Future. Mission reward a golden coin." Tan Fong said mission level C. To break the 5-element seal, the reward is a dark golden coin. The mission reward for level D and the first prize for the newbie assessment are exactly the same. Let's see the specific mission content. Activate the intermediate mission of Village Chief of the Future. Mission content. Go to the level 10 Maikot Desert to find the lost village and uncover the truth about the village. Kill the evil. Mission reward Village Chief's authority and a golden coin. Mission reminder. Newbies must reach level 10 to receive the newbie title. Only the new king is qualified to participate in this mission. The mission reminds that the lost village is deep in the Maikot Desert and requires a complete dark seal to enter the true village. Becoming the village chief is the first step to developing the newbie village. Without a village chief, the newbie village will disband and the villagers will become wanderers, losing their protection. The newbie village can only grow step by step with a village chief. The village chief can lead the villagers to build the village, developing it from a village to a town. The imperial territory, even the divine realm. Tan Fong picked up a piece of metal and said, "The lost village in the Maikot Desert, I fear it refers to the place I accidentally broke into last night. I already have the key to enter the lost village. Now I just need to wait for nightfall to complete the mission." It's a good thing I unintentionally planted willows in this forest. The more times I encounter it, the better. Tan Fong was determined that the position of Village Chief 911 must be his. Before heading to the Maicot Desert, I need to prepare thoroughly. First, I will use all the attribute points gained from leveling up and the extreme battle victory. Tan Fong shouted, "Add all attribute points," feeling himself grow stronger continuously. This is really wonderful. At the same time, the system announced that the attribute addition was complete. The system displayed Strength 463 plus 83 Qi Gen Yi level C. Agility 461 plus 15 Speed Enhancement level D. Vitality 474 Mental Enhancement level B, Hearing Enhancement level E, and Smell Enhancement. Level F for Touch Enhancement level F for Elemental Talent. Fire Qi Gen Yi level C, Earth Control level D, Metal Control level D, Dark Control level D, Strategic Evaluation 47 stars. Tan Fong said, "Since I drew the level F talent of Touch from the Devouring Ant, only the level of Vision talent is not yet obtained. I will draw Strength from the Devouring Ant troops." Then it increased to level D Strength. Now my power is 5 times what it was before. After drawing from the Queen, and the talent of Metal Control has risen to level D. I can also add armor from the black mineral around me, but the acid from the ant's secretion due to physiological structure can't be drawn. What a pity. Tan Fong said that besides controlling the metal upgrade, the destructive power of the combined attack from the 3 control skills, which are Mind Control and Earth Control, is significant. The control over metal has also increased. At this moment, Tan Fong shouted, "The energy consumption has decreased by half. Consider it good news." Tan Fong snapped his fingers and was able to awaken his innate skill, the External Energy Blast. This skill, the External Energy Blast, condenses the strength within the body into a stream of energy and then releases it to harm enemies with internal power, similar to what is found in martial arts novels. It can also cover weapons with energy to increase their damage. Tan Fong stretched his shoulders. The 2 attack skills and the External Energy Blast were enough to deal with ordinary beasts. As for skills that consume too much energy, like Hellfire, it's better to use them sparingly. This time, it can be considered a satisfactory harvest. Tan Fong was excited. If so, let's start opening the golden treasures. Suddenly, a message came in from Lu Hien requesting a private chat with him. Tan Fong wondered what Lu Hien, the second-ranked person from Village 911, wanted with him. "What's up?" Lu Hien said. "Boss Tan Fong, I have a very interesting item I want to trade with you." Tan Fong asked what he wanted, and Lu Hien replied, "I want to use a fusion card to exchange for the Bloodwolf Battle Blade that you listed on the trading channel." The system displayed the fusion card item, which is a second-tier item. This can fuse 5 low-level treasures into a higher-level one. Note that this fusion card can only be used for treasures below the Shadow Gold level. Tan Fong thought to himself that the white-silver treasures only have a 2% chance of opening a 4th-tier item, while the golden treasures have a 98% chance of opening a 4th-tier item and a 2% chance of opening a 5th-tier item. Comparatively, the price of a golden treasure is higher than 10 white-silver treasures combined. Perhaps others who obtain this card won't have many treasures to use it, but he has plenty. This card appearing is very suitable for him. Lu Hien said, "Thank you, Boss Tan Fong." Tan Fong said, "Then let's get started." Immediately, a notification was received. Opened a golden treasure and received a 4th-tier item, Wind Spirit Doll, which quickly adds 100. Defense plus 50 movement speed plus 100% fire resistance plus 100% water resistance plus 100%. Opened a golden treasure and received a 4th-tier item. Illusion Necklace Energy plus 100 skill Illusion Clone. The Illusion Clone skill is a 3rd-tier skill that consumes energy. It must condense an illusion clone to fight instead of oneself. Note that the strength of the clone is only half that of the original. The Illusion Clone skill requires awakening 6 innate abilities. Level C Perception. Tan Fong thought to himself that equipping a 4th-tier skill is indeed a good deal. He still has 8 white-silver treasures and can fuse 1 more golden treasure to post an announcement on the community channel. Let's see what items are available. Immediately, a personal notification displayed. Heroic Armor 2nd-tier item exchanged for a Fusion Card 2nd-tier item. Everyone commented that someone had posted a personal notification. I remember that only experts above level 10 can post 2 personal notifications. Amazing. This is Tan Fong, the strongest in Village 911. Yes, Tan Fong has 3 wins against 24 alliances of 8 countries. Yes, Tan Fong looked down from above. Next will be the Night of Slaughter. Tan Fong said, "Dog-headed man," and then ran straight ahead. After obtaining the Wind Spirit Doll, his speed skyrocketed. The journey that previously took 3 hours now only takes 1 hour, when he arrived at the Maicot Desert. The entrance to the Village of the Lost has not yet appeared, so he killed monsters around to level up and also tested the new skills he received, earning quite a few points. Attributes and energy points. Tan Fong reported that he is now at level 12 with 217,800 points above 230,000, and not far from the next level. Combat power has skyrocketed to 49. At the same time, he has reached the maximum extraction limit from beasts below level 10. Only beasts of level 8 and 9 are left to extract. Tan Fong roughly grabbed the head of a phoenix and said, "Looks like I need to increase the acquisition of this type of beast's corpse." Suddenly, he sensed something and thought of it. Tan Fong looked at the abyss before him and jumped down without hesitation. The light pierced through the night as Tan Fong landed, silently admiring how much cooler his landing posture was this time than the last. Tan Fong stood up. In front of him was a spatial gate, a hand with sharp claws reaching out. Tan Fong said, "Long time no see," as if a fierce battle had taken place. The stone recorded the traces of the brawl. The Hell Soldier questioned, "Why? How could you become so strong?" Tan Fong replied, "In the Dragon Kingdom there's a saying, a gentleman who hasn't met for 3 days should be treated with respect." Tan Fong looks at the deep abyss before him and jumps down without hesitation, a beam of light piercing through the night. Tan Fong lands and silently admires how much cooler his landing is this time compared to the last. Tan Fong stands up, and before him is a spatial gate with a hand and sharp claws reaching out. Tan Fong says, "Long time no see," as it seems a fierce battle has taken place here. The stone bears the marks of the brawl that occurred. The Hell Soldiers question, "Why? How can you become so strong?" Tan Fong replies, "There's a saying in Long Country, a gentleman doesn't meet another for 3 days. You have to look with different eyes. A day has passed, and you are no longer my rival." The display shows a level 10 mutated Hell Soldier with combat power evaluation. 20 stars, characteristics evil, bloodthirsty, brutal innate dark enhancement level, E fire enhancement level, E hellfire skill, dark bite drop rate of 10%. Tan Fong said, "And I already knew that the immortality you mentioned was just because I hadn't found your weak point yet. Now Tan Fong has just taken it away. I have found the power of the Hell Soldier I just mentioned." The notification appeared, "Successfully killed, received 15 judgment points, gained 1,000 energy points, picked up a fragment of the Dark Seal. Tan Fong just picked up the fragment." The words appeared, and Tan Fong turned around to see those words. "Collect 7 dark crystal stones to activate the phantom sacrifice, releasing the vengeful spirit. Killing it can cleanse the village of 10 people, completing the first mission. From the Lamb Crystal Realm, received a Golden Sun 200 attribute points, completing the first mission for 10 villages, increasing the village's attributes by 100%. You are the 7th newcomer to activate the mission in the Lamb Crystal Realm. Please seize the opportunity." Tan Fong thought to himself that the Lamb Crystal Realm must have tens of billions of people in his world. Now 6 people have been pulled into this. As Tan Fong entered, he said, "It seems that the Lamb Crystal Realm has quite a few hidden dragons and crouching tigers. If I don't hurry, I might not make it into the top 10. Suddenly, Tan Fong noticed something unusual. This level 13 vengeful spirit was about to ambush him. At the same time, the system displayed that Village 911 had won multiple bets. This mission's difficulty has been increased twofold. The combat power of the evil creatures has increased, and the rewards have doubled. Reminder, Village 911 is the only village with increased difficulty." Tan Fong wondered what the level 13 vengeful spirit was laughing about, saying, "A level 10 newcomer king is not even worth my time." While he was still alive, he hadn't even finished his sentence when Tan Fong had already sent him off to meet his ancestors. Difficulty has doubled. The combat power of the evil creatures has increased, and the rewards have doubled. The vengeful spirit's combat power is rated at 50 stars. Talents and skills do not display. Status is controlled. The previous newcomer kings, after dying, were transformed by the vengeful spirits using dark powers. Tan Fong assessed that the combat power was so high likely because the mission's difficulty was doubled by the heavenly path. If he failed, here he would likely become the next vengeful spirit. Tan Fong said, "He seems stronger than that fat guy from earlier." The level 14 vengeful spirit replied, "Don't compare me to him. He's useless, the lowest of the low here." Tan Fong brandished his sword and charged, teasing, "After all, we used to be colleagues," saying that is a bit heartless. Just with one sword, he created an unprecedented shock. Tan Fong smugly said, "You should apologize to him yourself. The level 14 vengeful spirit was unexpectedly just a level 11 newcomer like you." The level 14 vengeful spirit skillfully dodged to the side, but Tan Fong countered with the purest method. The level 14 vengeful spirit was punched and let out a yelp. "Just by you." The level 14 vengeful spirit was punched away, still saying, "It seems I forgot to mention, don't touch me. Everything I touch will be frozen solid. The ability to move is only to let me carve you up." After saying that, the level 14 vengeful spirit pulled out a spear, saying, "I'll give you a shattered gun." At this moment, Tan Fong was completely frozen. The spear almost touched him, but Tan Fong seized the upper hand and successfully sent him away. The system notified, "Killed the level 14 vengeful spirit king, successfully received 8,000 energy points, received 120 judgment points, received a gem." The dark crystal said, "Don't come near me or you'll become energy points for me to level up as a level 14 vengeful spirit. You'll meet the soul that has lost its way." The sound of the vengeful spirit's roar made the darkness here even thicker. Before I could catch my breath, 3 pairs of legs were ready to fight with me. The system displayed 4 vengeful spirit emissaries with the vengeful spirit king at level 15, rated 54 stars for strategy. Talents and skills did not show the status of being controlled. The legendary kings of the past after dying were transformed by the dark power, I asked. 7 dark crystals must mean 7 vengeful spirit emissaries, but where is the last one? Just as I mentioned the vengeful spirit, it appeared. I was startled to find a level 16 vengeful spirit behind me, clasping its hands and smiling. I felt mesmerized, my head spinning. It seemed my body couldn't move. Who am I? Where am I? The last thing I saw was the vengeful spirit. I smiled, and then the scene shifted to a peaceful nature. I wondered if this was... Suddenly, a butterfly flew by, transforming into a level 16 vengeful spirit. The level 16 vengeful spirit landed like a fairy descending to Earth. I was so mesmerized that I didn't realize there was no peaceful nature here at all. 2 vengeful spirits said to each other, "It turns out this guy's weakness is low energy. Haha, he's doomed. He killed the ice goddess and now he's about to go crazy," said the level 16 vengeful spirit. "Come to me, get closer." In a dream, I was because of the stars awakening. I was the brilliant master of the vengeful spirit seizing the opportunity. Now was the best time to strike. He shouted die, I had already noticed. The vengeful spirit couldn't understand. I struck from behind, slicing my opponent in half. With another strike, I took down another vengeful spirit. I said, when you were deceived, it was indeed a good opportunity to strike. The three were panicked. What, the level 16 vengeful spirit was furious. This human deceived us. He wasn't under the illusion. Together, they tried to suppress me. The battle was fierce and uneven, but I handled everything lightly. I grabbed one vengeful spirit and threw him several miles away. The level 16 vengeful spirit thought it had ambushed me. At that moment, I turned around, ready to die. A blue light appeared as usual. I swung my sword, but she had vanished. I was puzzled, was it an illusion? But I clearly felt the blade cut into flesh. No, she must be hiding among these petals. Sure enough, the petals wanted to assassinate me. I clicked my tongue in annoyance. These petals were both eerie and obstructive. I had to leave this place quickly. I gathered momentum and jumped into the air. The petals clung to my legs, wrapping around me tightly like a python. At this moment, I realized this girl had both illusion and wood system talents. I was about to be squeezed to death. "You're interesting," said the level 16 vengeful spirit. "Clearly only level 11, yet you can easily kill many level 15 vengeful spirits. You must have a secret," the level 16 vengeful spirit suspected. "I know you won't tell me, so I decided to kill you and have the vengeful master examine your memories to pay for deceiving me." "I want to give you a little lesson." The level 16 vengeful spirit began to torture me. She waved her hands mercilessly, slamming me hard against the rock wall. I thought to myself, this girl is really something. My limbs couldn't move, meaning my only chance to counterattack was when the crystal armor shattered. Break the crystal armor, I told myself. At that moment, there would be a gap between my body and the vines, and I would be able to. I could now raise my hand to use my inner power. I shouted, "Release the hellfire!" With that powerful energy, the level 16 vengeful spirit trembled and collapsed. She exclaimed, "Damn it, it hurts. How do you have so many skills?" "You cheat. No one can possess more than 3 talents. You should be exterminated," I replied. "Even a frog at the bottom of a well dares to speak arrogantly." The system displayed successfully killed the level 16 vengeful spirit king. Received 140 points, 10,000 energy points. I said the inner energy of the vengeful master is now much stronger than before. It seems ready to break out of the altar. Place the 7 dark crystals into the indentations on the 7 stone pillars of the dark altar. It will unlock the seal and release the vengeful master. At that moment, thunder struck the pillar violently. The thunder created a swirling vortex, and the excitement of the power seal was quickly fading. It was about to break free. A blue light struck down hard on the altar, forcing Tan Fong to shield his face from its impact. The new system notification announced that Tan Fong had successfully released the level 11 vengeful spirit. 30,800 out of 500,000 third-level judge, 895 out of 500 prestige, 56 new royal power strength, 541 plus. 83 force of essence level B agility, 551 plus 100 speed of foot, intent level C physique, 543 plus 20 mental strength, foot, intent level C. Spiritual energy, 564 plus 100 empathy level C, elemental fire, talent foot, intent level C, earth foot, intent level C, metal foot, intent level C, ice foot, intent level C. Dark foot, intent level C. Wood death essence level B, bloodline enhancement talent level E, dragon blood talent, endless fate skill, foot vision level 1. Mysterious transformation level 2, hell's blazing flame level 3, external force projection level 3, rejuvenation technique level 3, beast control technique level 3, illusion clone level 3. Evaluating strategy. 56-star maximum of foot with 2 sharp claws crushed the ground, and thunder erupted from the soul, causing Tan Fong to stare in shock at the giant monster before him. Inside him, there was a bit of fear. This monster was terrifying, never seen before. It was a goat-headed creature with 6 horns rearing its head and letting out a thunderous roar. This was a vengeful spirit, a level demon lord. Level 17 combat power evaluation, 71 stars. The talent could not be detected. The skill could not be detected. The vengeful spirit reached out to strike Tan Fong. He quickly drew his sword to brace against the weight of the creature's arm, causing him to stagger slightly. The monster growled, "You killed all my subordinates, ruining my hard work for hundreds of years." It shouted at Tan Fong, "Die." Its strength bore down harder and harder. Tan Fong hesitated, feeling a bit scared. Just one strike made his hand go numb. Indeed, it was terrifying power. The monster leaped, swinging its other arm. Tan Fong glanced over and saw the terrifying face of the vengeful spirit getting closer. The creature punched the ground with its hand, causing rocks to explode. Looking down, he saw blood beneath its hand. The monster relaxed, starting to breathe heavily. It looked down with disdain and said, "I thought you killed all 7 of my subordinates at once. How formidable could you be? What a disappointment." Suddenly, it felt a push beneath its hand. Tan Fong's voice rose. "To disappoint you, I'm sorry." Tan Fong was currently doing his best to hold up the hand of the vengeful spirit. Surrounding him were metallic spikes. He felt relieved that these spikes were extremely durable and flexible when he was attacked. They immediately blocked half of the vengeful spirit's attack. The monster slammed its hand down, shattering the metallic spikes. Tan Fong quickly rolled away to escape death. The vengeful spirit, furious, placed both hands on the ground, causing the earth to crack and burst forth with white light. Tan Fong ran back. The vengeful spirit was incredibly annoyed. It couldn't believe this kid was still alive and moving so quickly. Not only was he not dead, but he could also move fast. This kid was stronger than I thought. Tan Fong summoned the spikes behind him, wielding his sword and charging forward, shouting as the spikes shot into the legs of the vengeful spirit, all being flung away. Tan Fong swung his sword at its leg, but it didn't leave a scratch. He felt utterly powerless. Neither the wind blade nor the hard spikes could break through its defense. Tan Fong unleashed fire, and the vengeful spirit was thrown back 100 meters, crashing into a stone wall which shattered into pieces. He observed that the hellfire had risen to level 3. Its power was 10 times greater than before, yet it still couldn't injure the vengeful spirit. The monster hurled 3 bright bombs into the nearby buildings in quick succession. Tan Fong jumped to avoid them. He planned to try the 3-stage energy technique again. He decided to fly above the vengeful spirit, launching an attack from above. A bright orb fell from his hand onto the goat creature. The vengeful spirit quickly raised its hand to block it, but the orb pierced through, sending it flying. Tan Fong ran out of tricks and landed on the ground. The vengeful spirit looked at Tan Fong with resentment and asked him, "Humans are so cunning with so many tricks, huh?" Tan Fong looked at its intact body and felt disheartened. All the attack skills had been used once, yet he still couldn't injure it. Could it be that this mission would fail? While he was lost in thought, the vengeful spirit charged at him, its mouth dripping with disgusting saliva. Tan Fong dodged its punch and reassured himself. "It's just a big boss of the newbie village. It must have some weaknesses. I must have missed something." Tan Fong looked at the legs of the vengeful spirit. He heard a cracking sound coming from its left leg and burst into laughter. He hadn't tried this spot yet. Tan Fong once again swung his sword, gathering spirit energy around it. His eyes sparkled with confidence as he jumped up, swinging his hand to make a large cut across the vengeful spirit. The vengeful spirit screamed. The sky rumbles as it pours down like a chopped tree, blue blood gushing from the port. Tan Fong lowers his sword, a smug smile on his face, realizing that at crucial junctions, defense becomes harder. This also becomes its weakness. The vengeful demon screams in rage, "I will tear you to shreds!" Its blue essence bubbles violently from the hole binding shadows. Tan Fong sees a hand like a red dragon appear and cautiously asks, "What is that?" Just as he prepares to swing his sword to attack, a massive fist appears right behind him. Tan Fong hears the movement, turns around, and finds the fist almost at his face, sending him flying 100 meters away. Tan Fong suffers internal injuries, blood spilling from his mouth as he collapses to the ground. Feeling his bones ache painfully, his body begins to activate the healing spell. He leans on his sword to sit up, marveling at the power of the vengeful demon. Its strength has increased. This punch shattered all the bones in his body. Fortunately, he activated the wood elemental talent of the girl in the white dress, and the second-tier healing skill automatically became a rejuvenation technique. The injury immediately healed thanks to this skill. Even with the gap in strength, I can still fight until the opponent is exhausted. He wipes the blood from his face, and the vengeful demon, seeing him stand up, exclaims in shock, "You're not dead yet!" Tan Fong smirks. "You're dead, but I'm still alive." The system announces on the leaderboard, Zone 9 321. Novice Village 74 successfully killed the vengeful demon. Receiving first place in the Lamtine realm, Tan Fong muses, "I've lost 1 position in the top 10. He can't delay any longer. His gaze becomes more resolute. This time, he must be more careful. Tan Fong takes the initiative to charge at the monster. He leaps up and strikes down at the vengeful demon, which throws its head back and howls. 2 red hands appear behind him again. Tan Fong realizes this is the binding shadow technique. Earlier, he used the illusion clone technique, and the 2 red hands are confused about which one to follow. Tan Fong feels proud. The illusion clone has strength equal to half of his true self. Unfortunately, using it requires awakening the 6th sense. Thankfully, before opening the demon altar, he had already traded for a 100-tier fruit. After using it, he gained the F-level sensory talent. He thinks as the 2 clones of Tan Fong rush past the vengeful demon's face. The vengeful demon, seeing this, swipes its hand to grab them, but is struck by the real Tan Fong with a blow to the shoulder. After awakening the 6th sense, he can now use beast control and the illusion clone technique. The vengeful demon, in too much pain, loses its balance, blood spilling from the wound on its shoulder. It lets out a painful roar, and the system notifies Tan Fong. Zone 1229. Newcomer Village. 877 successfully killed the vengeful demon. Receiving second place in the Lam Tin realm, Tan Fong feels even more anxious as he loses another position. The vengeful demon angrily pounds its fist on the ground, continuously shouting, Why is this guy so strong?" The dirt and rocks fly from where it punches down, heading toward Tan Fong. The vengeful demon recalls that since he entered the village, he has been silently observing, and all aspects of strength, speed, physique, and essence have awakened his talents. But it wasn't strong enough to be too unusual. After he killed Bai Ruo, he mumbled some strange words and made some odd movements. A stream of light radiated from him, changing to the point where I could no longer see through it. The vengeful spirit that had been watching Tan Fong couldn't win. He lay on the ground in fury, blood oozing from his mouth as the system continued to announce more bad news. Newcomer number 331 from village number 7 has successfully killed the vengeful spirit. In the 3rd rank of the Celestial Realm, Tan Fong knew that the chances were dwindling. He had to hurry up. He used the Hellfire techniques, the sharp and toxic spikes, and continuously attacked the monster with various moves, tearing its flesh apart.